Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another live stream. It feels like only yesterday I did a stream. That's because I did only yesterday do a stream. But good to see you. Let me know, as always, what you're doing right now. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And most importantly, let me know about that assistant manager chip. Is it active yet? If not, we can do it live on stream together. I've actually not yet activated it. But don't worry, the title is not clickbait. I will absolutely be playing the assistant manager chip. I'm fully confirmed on that. I just thought we could do it together on the stream, and I might wait a little bit just in case. Chris, nice and early with the classic message that he always puts in the chat, which is dog farts. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you being here. Chris has literally been here in every stream and always comments dog farts throughout the stream. It cheers me up as I'm streaming, so thank you for being here, Chris. I love the smell of chaos in the morning. Hello, Ross. Hello, Claudette. Good to see you as always. It is chaos. Good to see you, Zodiac. Boo, good morning, Raptor. Hope you are well. I am well, thank you. I hope you are as well. Hope Gakpo plays both games. I don't, but I'm sure owners do. God, this feels crazy. This feels like this could be a pretty crazy stream. Although, I'm not imagining we get too much early team news. So really, it's just focusing on chip strategy, maybe benching decisions, maybe a little bit about do you sell certain players in order to activate the chip, etc. But as we spoke about yesterday, with it being such a powerful chip, I can only imagine that it's going to be worth doing. I'm going to go mad and do a mini wildcard with 4 transfers. Best of luck, Frosty. I meant to say that I don't think that's a bad idea, but for some reason, the words that were about to leave my mouth was I don't respect that. But I do respect that. Go for it. DK said I made 3 free transfers and I have 3 Liverpool, 3 Everton before the double game week. Is it worth taking out Gakpo for slot or in die for Moyes? 0.1 in the bank. I think Gakpo out for a -4 to bring in slot. A lot of people are going to be in a position where getting Moyes allows them to keep their 3 Liverpool and a really strong team. And in that case, it might be worth doing. But for those people that are having to take hits anyway, to go out there and get Moyes, then you might as well take the hit for Arne Slot, I think. I'll just, whilst I'm just yapping, put my team on the screen and I'll explain that in a second. But Kieran says, Sells, Gabriel, Munoz, Kirkes, Trent Vandenberg, Salah Palmer, Gordon Cliver, Enzo Wood, Isaac Wisser. Assistant manager active on slot. 1 free transfer and want to move Gordon and Wood out next game week. Yeah, it's a lovely team, mate. It might be that you end up trying to get Ollie Watkins in. It might also be that you end up, if Fulham get the double, you might go for Jimenez. But I absolutely think that having 2 free transfers next week will be extremely useful. I think if possible, like in hindsight, I regret the Bruno to Mbeumo move because I feel like that extra transfer next week would be really valuable. So I think right now, if you haven't made luxury moves like Bruno to Mbeumo or Wood to Wisser, I would just not make them anymore this week. I don't feel like they make as much sense now in the context of what we know about Game Week 25. Sembayan says, Raya and Kanate to Kirker/Pickford or Kanate to Howson. Oh, that's a tough one. That is a tough one, isn't it? I think I would do Raya and Kanate to Kirkes and Pickford as long as it's for free. If it's not for free, just do Kanate to Howson. Jake Hill's a 0 in the bank, 0 free transfers. Gakpo to Ndiaye to have slot. Gakpo to Ndiaye for a -4 to have slot is probably going to be one of the main questions that we get. I don't mind it. Ndiaye's a penalty taker. Slot has a really high ceiling. I don't think Gakpo starts all 4. Well, at least I'm not confident that he starts all 4 if they get the double in 25. So I don't hate the idea of the assistant manager. But then again, you could just play it on Moyes this week, and then you could always buy a slot next week, or you could go to sort of Silva, Ange, or Emery, whoever gets the double. So my plan right now, I've actually not activated the assistant manager chip yet, but my plan, as you can see on the screen, that's why it's on the transfers page, is to do Alisson to Pickford, which frees up the money and the position in my team to go and get Arne Slot. So my team as of right now, if I actually come off of this, that's my team as things stand. Right, so if I want to, because I've got 0.7 in the bank, so a possibility for me is not make any transfers beyond what I've already done, which is obviously bringing Brian Mbeumo. So not use a transfer and just do David Moyes' assistant manager chip. So I have thought about that, but I don't think Moyes is as good of an option as Arne Slot. So I want to instead sell Alisson to Pickford and go and get Arne Slot. Lots of people asking why go for Arne Slot. He's got a lower ceiling. Bournemouth could get a result against them. It could be a draw against Everton. You could say that about any player. Why go and get Mbeumo because he could blank? My prediction is that they get at least 1 win, which will be at least sort of 8 to 10 points. And I think there's a good chance they win both games. I would say the same about David Moyes, right? David Moyes could very easily not beat Leicester. If I told you Everton Leicester was 1-1, from a footballing perspective, I don't think you'd go, wow, I'm massively shocked about that. And then do you expect Everton to get anything against Liverpool? I don't think you necessarily do. I'm not saying they can't, but you probably don't expect it. So as a result, I think slot is better. Now, if you were to go through like points projections, like a lot of websites, even Fantasy Football Hub right now, again, there'll be a link down below as always if you want to get 30% off. The points projections for, if we just go Gameweek24, it's very close between Slot and Moyes. If you look at bookies odds, like Moyes isn't a bad assistant manager, but if I've got an easy enough route to Arne Slot and I think he's better, then I would rather take that. And if I think about my own team as well, Alisson is going to cause me an issue in Game Week 29 anyway, right? Because he's probably going to blank and Fabianski has lost his place. So if I'm going to have to use a transfer on Alisson probably before Game Week 29 anyway, then I might as well just bring that forward now if it gives me on a slot. But obviously in a lot of people's positions, you're not in the position where you're selling Alisson. So I think for those people, and you're selling like Gakpo or Trent, it does become a little bit more tricky as to whether you go for Moyes or whether you go for Arne Slot. The only final thing I just want to say is, for those people that maybe have to shoot in a bit and they can't stay for the whole stream and you're a bit confused about how to activate the chip, so I'm going to cancel it for now. On your transfers page, if you go to your transfers page, you can do this on the mobile or on the site. Towards the top, you can see where it says wildcard free hit assistant manager, 15 out of 15, 1.3 right there. If you click on assistant manager, this doesn't fully activate the chip. It's reversible at this stage, but you can press play chip. So you can all do this now, even if you're not playing it. Press play chip. It will then change to where it says pending and then 15 out of 16. And if you scroll down, there's just this little spot here which opens up for your assistant manager. So at the point that you click the chip, it becomes pending. Then you free up the spot. At this stage, you've done nothing. That's why it says pending. You then have to go out there and actually put the manager in. Obviously, for me, I've always got to free up 0.2 million and a Liverpool position. So let me go and get Pickford as well. And then only once you've actually made the transfer. So if I press make transfers, you can see it will say assistant manager active and it says Arne Slot in there. Only at that stage, when you actually confirm the transfer, does it fully activate the chip. And just to confirm, it does not use a transfer to activate the chip. So to go and get Slot doesn't require a transfer. But then if in an hour I decide to go from Slot to Moyes, that would require a transfer because they're basically treating the manager as a player. Hopefully that makes sense. But in a second, not in a second, probably in about an hour or so, I think I probably will do it. But I'm just waiting just in case. Like, I'm not going to get priced out in the next hour. There's nothing that I'm really waiting for, but you just never know. But yeah, I'm not going to leave it until the last minute, just in case like the site glitches or something. I'd be gutted if I didn't end up playing it. But that's the plan for me right now, is to do Pickford in and Slot in. Hopefully that makes sense. Do you need to start Slot? It looks like he's on my bench. Yeah, I've honestly had like 20 DMs from people that like, oh my God, what do I do? Slot's on my bench and I can't get him into my 11. He's not on your bench. It's just that's where they've decided to put the assistant manager. So when it's fully activated, it will look like Arne Slot's on your bench or David Moyes is on your bench. They're not on your bench, as far as I'm aware anyway. Can you imagine if we all activated it and they were all technically like on our bench and we just left them there? That would be pretty awful. Also, for the Gakpo owners, Jota is back in training. Jota is back in training, but do you remember how slowly he was reintegrated last time? And this is another injury. Do you remember? He didn't start. He's still not started a game in the Premier League since Game Week 7, I don't think, Jota. So I just can't foresee him being a real issue for Gakpo's minutes. But yeah, maybe that's another reason to make you lean towards selling Gakpo. Shazam, good to see you, my friend. Sorry, I've only just seen that. Good to be here. Let the chaos begin. Last night, I did Wood to Ndai and Moyes due to possible price rise. Very nice. I wanted Slot, but don't want to lose my 3 Liverpool. I don't blame you. Now who to bench? Sarr or Rodgers? Great stream last night, by the way. Thank you very much, my man. I appreciate that. So, I don't mind Moyes to keep 3 Liverpool. It makes a lot of sense for a lot of people. Sarr versus Rodgers. Immediately, my thought is Rodgers, because I think he's been a better asset and a little bit more consistent. But with Eze being out, if you've not seen, by the way, Eze's out for the United game, Sarr's minutes look really strong. Because even if Romain Esse comes on, it will probably be for Nketiah. Or if Esse starts, Nketiah can then come on for Esse. And again, that is Romain Esse. Then Sarr, you would imagine, has a good chance of playing 90 minutes. I tell you what, with the way that Wolves have defended at point, I would be semi-tempted to start Sarr now. But without the Eze news, I would have lent Rodgers, so maybe not, mate. I'm sorry I'm not giving you a better answer. Maybe it depends on like how much you're chasing. Like Sarr is probably going to be slightly lower owned than Rodgers. Rodgers has quite high ownership. So if you want to be a bit more protective, start Rodgers. If you want to chase a bit more, maybe go for Ismail Sarr. Luke, as always, here. Thank you, Luke. I appreciate it. It says, hey, mate, great content as always. Thank you. Gutted on what to do. Have 3 free transfers and 0.9. 3 Liverpool of Gakpo, Trent, Salah. Thinking of just doing assistant manager chip on Moyes and rolling to have 4 for next week. What are your thoughts? Again, I think if you've got Gakpo and Trent, I don't mind going Moyes because you're selling really good high ceiling assets. I'm not saying Alisson isn't a good asset. I wouldn't have brought him in if I thought he was a bad asset. But his ceiling is quite low. Even if he gets a double clean sheet and makes loads of saves, you're probably looking at 14, 15 points. Trent and Gakpo can get that in a given game, like one game. And so I just think it is a lot more difficult to sell Salah or Gakpo. But for me, if it's for free, I would still sell Salah or Gakpo for free to activate it on slot. I would do something like Gakpo to Wissa if it was my team. But again, I really fully appreciate that keeping 3 Liverpool and going for Moyes could work. If Moyes gets a win against Liverpool, you are laughing. That is like best case scenario for you. You're getting like 16 points plus. If Moyes beats Liverpool, it's like 18 points you're probably getting, which is mental. But you then need Everton to beat the best team in the league, which feels quite unlikely. Brian says, I want to play the triple captain chip this week and keep Gakpo. When else could I play the assistant manager chip? So I've looked at this. I actually really quite like triple captain this week and then assistant manager chip next week. Because if you play the assistant manager chip next week, you're guaranteed to get a double in 25. And then there are some really nice table bonus opportunities in 26 and 27. So I actually think if you still want to play the triple captain chip, triple captain and then assistant manager straight after, it could actually work really well. So that would be my move if you are still absolutely set on triple captain. But I still think that the best play is assistant manager for the double-double. But again, I really think, in terms of how much potential you have, triple captain Salah this week followed by assistant manager could be really nice. W Stream says, I agree with Slot in your position, but for me, he has to sell Gakpo Trent for a -4. Surely Moyes is the move. It depends if you think Everton get a result against Liverpool. If you think or do you think Liverpool drop points against Bournemouth? If you are in a position where you think Liverpool will beat Bournemouth and Everton, I would go and get Slot. Because that is a minimum 9 points. Is it 9? No, 8. 8 is kind of worst case scenario for a win. Because you get 6 for the win, and then you either get 1 for a goal, 2 for... Yeah, I think 8 is the minimum you can get with a win. So if he gets 2 wins, it's a minimum 16 points from Slot. That's like a really good use of the chip. Whereas if Moyes beats Leicester and then loses to Liverpool, it could be... Yeah, it could be like 8 points, right? So it's half of what Slot's getting. So it really depends how much you think... How likely it is that Liverpool drop points or Everton get a result against Liverpool. That's up to you at that point. Gakpo to Wissa or Watkins. Watkins could double in 25. If you can afford Gakpo to Watkins, I'd go Watkins. I think it's worth the upside. Because the thing is, even if they don't double in 25, it's Wolves and Ipswich. Watkins looks like he's first choice penalty taker. And with Duran gone, there's no competition for Ollie Watkins. So his minutes are going to be super secure. Charfraska says 0.2 in the bank, Gakpo to Ndiaye to afford Slot -8, or Wood to Wissa and get Moyes -8. Wood to Wissa is a lovely transfer, isn't it? I still think I'd do Gakpo to Ndiaye, but this is because I think Slot's better than Moyes. If you ask some other managers, they might prefer Moyes to Slot, and in that position, they might not be as keen to go and take a -4. It really depends on what your preference is on Arne Slot versus David Moyes. Daniel Marlon can play as a forward. He can, but Daniel Marlon's not going to get minutes over Watkins. He might get the odd early sub, but I would imagine that Marlon will play out wide instead of Bailey or McGinn. I'd imagine best case scenario is they go and get someone like Rashford before the deadline closes, and you would imagine that it's something like Watkins, Rashford, Marlon, Rodgers, which would be extremely strong. They've also obviously got Jacob Ramsey, who's been playing very, very well. So they've got that rotation, but I don't imagine that Daniel Marlon's going to take tons of minutes off of Ollie Watkins. Would be my prediction anyway. Would to Ndiaye for free to allow Emery in 25. This is the one thing that I like about Moyes holding is I think Emery is a really decent shout in 25 because in 25, if they get the double, Emery will have Ipswich. Although they drop points against Ipswich earlier in the season, but you'd expect Villa to beat Ipswich. And then could Emery get a result against Slot? Absolutely. That is absolutely a game that you can imagine that Emery does well in. Like I would back Villa to get a result against Liverpool more than I would Everton. So I quite like Emery in 25. And the thing is, if Liverpool don't reach the final, then it's Fulham and Spurs. And I like Ange Postecoglou's fixtures and I like Silva's fixtures too. So it's not the end of the world going for Moyes. It really isn't. Dennis says, yo, rap, vacay with the missus, so little time to recon. Very nice. I would love a holiday of some kind right now. I could absolutely do with that. Verbruggen, Fabianski, Trent Aynon, Munoz, Gabriel, 8 Nuri, Bruno Murphy, Salah Palmer, Rogers, Isaac Wood, and Pedro. I have 4 free transfers, 0 in the bank, 0.2 in the bank. What do I do? So you've only got 2 Liverpool. Great. So you need to play it on slot, really, but then you need to free up the money to do so. I think the obvious way to do that for you... Does Wood to Wissa allow that? I don't think it does it? Maybe do. Right, does this work for money? Does Wood to Wissa and Bruno to Mbeumo give you the funds? So I would go Wood to Wissa, Bruno to Mbeumo, and then you might have to downgrade one further player and then activate the assistant manager chip on a slot. But basically, Dennis, you free up 1.5 and you get the assistant manager chip active. That would be my opinion anyway. But best of luck with it, and it's a great position to be in. With 2 Liverpool and 4 free transfers, you're flying. I have Salah and Konate get Trent or slot. I think slot. You're covering the Liverpool defence anyway with Konate, so unless Trent gets multiple attacking returns, you're going to be fairly okay there. And also, do remember that if Liverpool keep a clean sheet, then the slot gets 2 points. So there is the additional bonus there as well. Sells, Henderson, Gabriel, Trent, Munoz, Konsa, Mikalenko, Rogers, Palmer, Salah, Gordon, Sarr, Pedro, Isaac, Wood. 2.4 in the bank, 4 free transfers. I still have triple captain and assistant manager. Which transfer should I do? Yeah, so just activate the assistant manager. You could conceivably just activate the assistant manager chip and roll. The rest of your team's absolutely fine. In fact, I probably would do that. Activate and roll, and then you'll have 5 free transfers for Game Week 25, which is a ridiculously strong position to be in. Here for FPL, says down to 2 options with 0.6 in the back. Sorry, FPL Big was just boiling the kettle. I was like, what are you doing? Sorry, it's quite a loud kettle. Sorry, anyway, down to 2 options with 0.6 in the bank. No free transfers. 1, assistant manager Moyes, require a -4 to switch manager, Game Week 25. Or 2, Gakpo to Ndiaye / Wissa -4 and assistant manager slot. Both options require a -4. It's the downside of manager switch versus getting rid of Gakpo. Okay. Oh, that's a tough one. Because you're not taking the hit this week, are you? But I do understand you're booking in a transfer by going for Moyes, aren't you? I still think I'd lean to the slot move. I'd lean to the slot move and hope that... The thing is, if Liverpool don't reach the EFL Cup final... We're a bit screwed because we're going to have to transfer slot out anyway. But yeah, I would still probably go for that one. I do agree that when you put it like that, it is a little bit closer, isn't it? G. Davidson says, hi, mate. Keep smashing the content. Thank you very much. I have 3 Liverpool, Mo, Trent, Gakpo, no Everton. I want slot, 5 games better ceiling. It would be -4. Who would you move? Yeah, okay. Like a ball in a china shop. I can tell. Sorry, chat. I'm getting a little bit distracted here. Mo, Trent, Gakpo, no ever. Well, how about you sit down for like half an hour? Let me ease into the stream. She's not been here for a stream for a while, and she's running tap, boiling kettles, munching some sort of food. Sorry, I'm trying to do this, G. Davidson. Mo, Trent, Gakpo, and Overton. I want 5 games better ceiling. It would be a -4. Who would you move? Okay, so you're basically saying who would you sell, Trent or Gakpo? I am still of the opinion, but then I'm very biased because I've never owned Gakpo and I love Trent. I think I would marginally lean towards selling Gakpo before I would selling Trent. But I don't think it's as obvious as people are making out. It's not like I would definitely sell Gakpo. He's a much worse asset than Trent. Gakpo's ceiling is also very high. He's got a 16-pointer. I just think with Trent... his minutes are a little bit more secure, and I also think that he does have the ability to get multiple attacking returns in given games because of the clean sheet bonus and the attacking threat. Jordan Lane says, I went early and did Wood to Gakpo, still have 3 free transfers, take Gakpo back out for 7.6 forward and go slot, or keep Gakpo and get Moyes. It's a bit of sunk cost fallacy there. I know you've just got Gakpo in, but I think in your position, it probably makes a lot of sense to just take him back out because you've got the free transfers. Like, to put this into perspective, Praz, who is one of the best managers you'll ever see, he was very, very happy to just take Gakpo back out for a -4. So he bought Gakpo in for free, but to remove Gakpo again this week, he's had to take a hit, and he still did it. Like, I think sometimes you've got to not be stubborn, and I think if you brought Gakpo in this week, and you've got the free transfers to then pull him back out, I think it makes a lot of sense to then just do that. Jedi says, sells Valdemarsson, Trent, Gabriel, Robinson, Howson, Hall, Salah, Palmer, and Burmo, Semenyo, Sarr, Isak, Gakpo, Wood. Set on slot for Trent. Would you recommend 1, Trent to Kirkes or Mikalenko and Wood to Wissa? Oh, sorry. The punctuation is... Okay, I understand. Trent to Kirkes or Mikalenko and Wood to Wissa. Or 2, Trent to Mikalenko and Sarr to Kluivert. 3, am I GG about wrong? I'm not going to lie. It's very early, but that is also one of the most difficult things I've ever read. I think what you're essentially saying, Trent to Kirkes or Miko, and Wood to Wissa, or just go for Trent to Mikalenko, allowing you to do Sarr to Kluivert. Or probably Trent to Mikalenko and Sarr to Kluivert is the way I would lean, because you're getting a penalty taker in Kluivert. Kluivert's got Southampton next week, and I think Wood could do fairly well this week against Brighton. I would just about lean towards number 2. Hopefully that is what you were asking, and hopefully that still helps. Sam North, it's because obviously YouTube only allows you to have a certain amount of characters. Sam North says, 0 free transfers, 0 in the bank, triple captain used. Gakpo to Ndiaye for a -4 on go slot. It's a question I've already answered 3 or 4 times, but I still would say, yes, I don't mind that. It's Gakpo to Ndiaye for a -4 to allow you to get slot. For me, isn't a no-brainer. It's not I just sit here and say, it's so obvious, get it done. But I would say I'm like 63% yes, 37% no. I've never known a human make as much noise as you in the last 10 minutes. It's wild. Sorry, so yeah, I think it's a fine move, but I don't think it's a no-brainer. Mr. Mason says, hi, mate. Already took a -4 with free transfers. Okay. I have Gakpo, Trent, and Salah. Would you triple captain Salah or do assistant manager on the slot for a -8 and sell which Liverpool? Oh, I feel so sorry for people in this position, but everyone seems to be in the same position. You've got... let me know in the chat if you're in this position. You've got Trent, Gakpo, Salah, and no free transfers. What do you do? It seems to be the most common dilemma. I still think I would do something about it. I still think I would sell Gakpo or Trent and take the extra -4. That's what I would do for me. But that's because I just think the chip is so incredibly powerful, right? Someone said I missed their super chat. I'm just a little bit behind because it's taken ages to get through them at the moment. But I am absolutely on it. Do not worry. Just stick around and you will get it answered. Don't worry. I'm in that exact position. I'm in the same position. Yep, that's me. Do you know what? I should run a quick poll and then I'll get back to answering your questions. What is your plan this week? Slot assistant manager for free. Slot assistant manager for a hit. Moyes assistant manager. Not using assistant manager. Cool, I'm running a poll right now. Are you playing the assistant managership on slot for free? i.e. it's not taking you a hit to get him in. I know it doesn't require a transfer to get him in, but you know you have to remove Gakpo for a -4, for example. Slot assistant manager for a hit. Moyes assistant manager or not using the assistant manager. There is a poll right now. I just want to see where people are at. I know slot might be popular, but I also want to see, did it require any hits to get you there as well? I think the hits will be flying this week, to be honest. Mohammed says, a bit hypothetical, but if Villa get a double at Gameweek 25, would Rodgers be a better pick than Kluivert? Rodgers has 2 games, but Kluivert has Southampton. The thing is with Rodgers, if Rodgers doubles in 25, Rodgers also blanks in 29. So I would still lean towards saying yes, but the additional fixture for Rodgers is Liverpool, and then you're going to have to take him out anyway. Kluivert will have a game in 29 against Brentford, and he's on penalties. So I still think in the long term, Kluivert's still a better asset than Rodgers. But obviously for Gameweek 25 alone, I'd rather have the doubler with 2 home fixtures. XESG says, I took a -4 to bring in Gakpo. Should I do Trent out to someone and slot in for a -8 or save the chip? I would just take Gakpo back out for another -4. I think a lot of people, and again, if you think Gakpo's better than Trent, that's fine. But I think a lot of people this week, because they've just brought in Gakpo, either this week or last week, they'll lean towards taking out Trent rather than taking out Gakpo because they feel like it's a mistake that they've just invested. Again, don't be stubborn. If you think Trent is a better hold than Gakpo, just sell Gakpo. I know you've just brought him in. So again, I would sell Gakpo for Wissa or Ndiaye. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Not ideal. W Stream says, whenever I read that out, I assume you're talking about me, but that's just your name. Yes, but I feel like you are ignoring the fact that Gakpo Trent could haul. If Liverpool win 3-1 for a slot 10-pointer, Gakpo Trent will likely have a goal and assist. I don't think that's necessarily the case, but yes, absolutely. I'm not saying Gakpo and Trent are going to blank, but conceivably, they could beat Bournemouth 1-0, in which case Trent would get a clean sheet, but Gakpo might not return. Conceivably, they could beat Everton 2-1. Trent doesn't have a return. Gakpo gets 1 goal, no bonus. I just think for the consistency of Slot is obviously not going to be rotated at any point. And every time Liverpool do anything good, Slot picks up points for it. It's probably worth it. And the thing is, you're not playing the chip for 1 week. This is a 3-week chip and you get a double, and then also the potential in Game Week 26 as well. I do understand what you're saying, though. And hopefully I've not come across as saying something along the lines of Trent and Gakpo are going to blank, because obviously they're not. Dave with a super chat. Thank you very much, Dave. Says, I've screwed myself using 3 of my 4 free transfers 3 days ago. It's easily done. I understand why people did go early. What to do with the assistant manager with this team? 1 free transfer, 0.1 in the bank. Alisson, Trent, Mikalenko, Davis, Salah, Palmer, and Burmo, Rogers, Isak, Jackson, Wissa, Fabianski, Semenyo, Konsa, Colwill. So you've got Alisson, Trent, and Salah. My early thoughts is you might have to take a hit. I would do Alisson to Pickford, Dave, and I would do Jackson down to someone else, whether that be Ndiaye. You can have a look at the forwards you want, but Alisson to Pickford, Jackson downgrade, and that will allow you to play the assistant manager chip on Arne Slot. That would be what I would do. If you don't want to do that, like let's say you don't want to use it on Slot, if you want to use it on David Moyes, then you don't even have to take a hit. You can just downgrade Jackson, and that will allow you to go out there and get David Moyes. Your team's in a really good position, though, mate. Your team looks really strong, so don't stress too much. Ali G says 0.2 in the bank. Trent to Kirkes or Gakpo to Ndiaye for Slot. Gakpo to Ndiaye, just about. I do like Trent to Kirkes as a transfer, though. Pep says, hopefully that's the Pep, Robinson to Mikalenko, Gakpo to Wissa, and fun Slot for a -4. Robinson to Mikalenko, Gakpo to Wissa, and to fun Slot -4, or Robinson to Miko and Moyes, but Game Week 25, I have to take -4 Maria. They're just word blending in here. So Robinson to Mikalenko, fine. Gakpo to Wissa, fine. Or Robinson to Mikalenko and Moyes, but I would just do the first one. Robinson to Mikalenko, Gakpo to Wissa is fine. My only concern with that one is if Liverpool reach the EFL Cup final, Robinson will double in Game Week 25. So you are taking a risk here that Robinson could have a double game week in 25. But both of your moves involve that. So I would just say, if you're selling Fulham or Villa players this week, 100% confirmed, one of Villa or Liverpool, one of Villa or Fulham will double in 25. So for me, I'm sat there with Robinson and Rodgers. I know for a fact that one of those two will double in 25, which is a nice feeling to have. Offman says, Ross, I have 1.2 in the bank with 0 transfers. What would you do with this team? Pickford, Aina, or Colwill? I'm confused. There are some really confusing messages there. Hall, Trent. Oh, I see what you're saying. Aina or Colwill. Hall, Trent, Ahmad, Mo, and Burmo, Palmer, Gakpo, Isak, Wood. I think you can either just play the assistant manager chip on Moyes, or you've got the same decision as everyone else, really, which is just downgrading Gakpo to someone like Wissa. The thing is, for you can go Gakpo to Wissa. You don't have to go all the way down to Ndiaye. I would probably do Gakpo to Wissa and activate it on Slot. In terms of starting Colwill or Aina, I'd probably still start Ola Aina there. No triple captain, 2 Liverpool, 0 free transfers, 1.5 million in the bank. Sounds like destiny. What a position to... That is literal perfection, yeah. Just activate the chip on Slot and you're laughing. What a position to be in. Is it worth selling Wood / Mateta to Ndiaye to free up the money for Slot, or do I just get Moyes? Yeah, I would sell Chris Wood. I think I prefer selling Chris Wood to Mateta this week. For anyone that has Wood and Mateta, I was thinking about it myself. Like, let's say I only had 2 Liverpool and I could sell Wood or Mateta to free up the money. I think I would sell Wood before Mateta. It is quite close, though. Wood is very consistent. Will says 0.5 million in the bank, 2 free transfers, Salah, Gakpo, No other potential doublers in either week. Leaning towards Moyes because simpler and will give flexibility in 25, but unsure. Yeah. I mean, the thing, I don't want to sit here and constantly put people off David Moyes because I'm not in a position where getting slot is difficult. If I was in a position where getting slot was really difficult, it might be that I change my opinion on it. And so maybe I'm speaking from a biased perspective of, listen, I can get slot fairly easily, but I just prefer slot to Moyes. I really do. So I would still go for slot in your position and just sell one of your Liverpool players. But if you prefer Moyes, listen, you've got the 0.5 sat there, free transfers, maybe just do it. Tony says, hey, Ross, went early. Okay. Thoughts on Alisson to Flecken? Can only afford a 4.4 goalkeeper to get slot. Or triple captain this week and assistant manager next week. Do you know what? Alisson to Flecken's not an awful transfer. Flecken does have a fixture in 29. It's not a great one, but it's not the worst. I don't mind Flecken. He makes lots of saves. You can never know. You might go and get a 12-pointer from him at some point, just due to the sheer amount of saves that he makes. Spurs aren't fully clicking. It's not even bad. Do you know what? I don't mind Alisson to Flecken, Tony. I'd be tempted. Simon says Wissa or Ndiaye for Gakpo. I would go Wissa. I think if you've got the money for Wissa instead of Ndiaye, I prefer Wissa to Ndiaye. I know you get the extra fixture with Ndiaye, but I just think Wissa's a better asset. Ross. I love the name Ross. Fantastic name. I think I say that every time you do a super chat, I always say I like your name, Ross. Henderson, Fabianski, Trent, Munoz, Gab, Robinson, VDB, Bruno Mo, Palmer, Bryan, Roger. That's a lovely midfield, by the way. Rogers, Wissa, Isak, and João Pedro. Sold Sarr to Mbermo and Wood to Wissa. 0.3 in the bank and 2 free transfers. 1.2 million needed for slot. Okay, Bruno to Ahmad, Kluivert, Semenyo, Dango, or Gabriel to House and Kirkes, Mikalenko. Oh, do you know what? I'm a Bruno fanboy. I quite like Gabriel to a Bournemouth defender. I quite like Gabriel to Howson or Kirkes. If you need to play him this week, though, maybe go Mikalenko. I don't mind selling Gabriel because the thing is, Bruno's a penalty taker that has a great fixture in 29, and he's got Ipswich in 27. I would probably lean towards the Gabriel transfer myself and keep Bruno. Linus says, why is everyone 100% sure assistant manager will be better than 3 Liverpool players this week and triple captain and wait for assistant manager next week? You only lose 1 assistant manager game and get triple captain and 1+ player. You're losing 1. Do you know what? I don't... Sorry if I've made it sound like it's absolutely categorically better. I think it is better, right? Because I think the assistant managership is better than the triple captainship. But yeah, absolutely. It might not be that much better. It might not even be better at all. So if you've got... I did just say earlier on in the stream, I quite like triple captain 24, assistant manager 25. So if you are really set on wanting to play the triple captainship this week, maybe you don't want to sell your Liverpool assets. Absolutely. I think for a lot of people, Linus, they don't have the triple captain. So I feel like if you don't have the triple captain, then it absolutely makes sense to play the assistant manager. Yaksho says, hi Ross, 40-point lead in my mini league. Do I play safe or triple captain? I think just at this point in the season, I wouldn't worry about how far ahead you are. I would just play to the best of your ability. Like to get 40 points clear, you're doing something right. Just play what you think makes sense for your team. Don't worry about safe or differential. Brian says, once you use the assistant manager, need Gakpo, best replacements, have Isak and Mateta. I would say Wissa and Ndiaye are the top 2. I mean, if you had the money, then go for Ollie Watkins, but most people need a downgrade, I think. When will you play your triple captain? Do you still have it? I played mine in Game Week 9 for Haaland. It was awful. He got 6 points. It was an awful use of the triple captain. But again, 2.3 XG in that game. They're the worst team in the league. At home, Haaland was flying. It's very easy to sit here in hindsight and say it was a bad move, but it didn't pay off. But yeah, I've not got the triple captainship, which makes it easier for me. KG says, isn't it crazy doing Gakpo for Ndiaye to use a -4 to get slot rather than keeping Gakpo and getting Moyes? It depends again. If you think Moyes 100% beats Leicester and you think Moyes 100% or has a good chance, I should say, of getting a result against Liverpool, then absolutely play out on Moyes. I just think that Everton aren't that good, so they could drop points against Leicester, and I don't think they get anything against Liverpool. But stranger things have happened in FPL. KG says also, plus Everton's position gives Moyes a better chance of getting the bonus. But they still have to get something against the best team in the league. This is the thing, right? Moyes absolutely has a chance of getting a bonus, but the bonus is only there if they get a draw or win against the best team in the league. So I want to play I would like to attack the table bonus in a week where I feel like the underdog has a very good chance of getting a result. And I just don't feel that way. And I'm not saying Everton can't. I'm just saying I don't feel like Everton will get anything against Liverpool. I know they beat them, by the way, 2-0 last season. Lots of people keep bringing that up. But you've got two completely different managers and two completely different teams. So you can't draw too much from that. Martin says, Canate to Kirkes or Howson? I'd be very tempted to save the money with Howson. You know, he's a bonus points monster. He's got attacking threat, and you save the money. But Kirkes, I would probably expect Kirkes to outscore Howson. But it's whether it's worth the extra 0.5. I'd probably go Howson. Want to upgrade João Pedro and Sarr in the near future. Yeah, and it just leaves you more money as well, doesn't it, going for Howson? You know, I'd probably go for Howson in most cases. Unless you've got loads of money sat around, of course. Moyes assistant manager or Szoboszlai to Rodgers and Slot? Szoboszlai to Rodgers and Slot for me. The Scan Legend says, tripled up, main three, I have Ndiaye, Gakpo to Wissa and Slot, save one transfer and just go Moyes, or Gabriel to Hall and Mikalenko and Moyes. Ooh, I would still go Gakpo to Wissa, especially as it's for free. Gakpo to Wissa for free feels fine, I think. But again, lots of people rightly saying that Gakpo could do very well, and then you're gutted. Assistant manager active, Wood and Jackson to Wissa and Watkins or roll. Wood and Jackson to Wissa and Watkins or roll. I would roll and do that next week. Wissa and Watkins next week feels better. I don't think you need to do that this week. Any reason not to triple captain Salah? Only if you would prefer to play the assistant manager chip for a double-double. How should your pick team page look when the activated assistant manager chip? Looks like my manager is on the bench. Quite confusing. Yeah, it will look like your manager's on the bench, but your manager isn't on the bench. Don't worry. But that's what it looks like, yeah. So don't stress if you're looking at it and thinking, why is my manager on the bench? Right, I'm really behind on a couple of quite a few of the super chats, so I am getting there. Don't worry. Already on a -4 due to early transfers. Should I -8 Becker to Slot or go with Moyes? I think an extra -4 to remove Alisson is not a bad decision. I would go for it. Luke Talks Palace. Good to see you, my friend. Sorry for being ages before reading your message. Hello, mate. Crazy game week. I know it is. By the way, fantastic appearance on FPL Therapy. I really enjoyed that. Would you recommend Eze out for Cliver and Moyes? Okay. Or Ouattara and Slot. I could also take out Wood and Eze for Cliver, Wissa and Slot. I only have 2 Liverpool and 1 free transfer left. Pain. I really like Dango, Ouattara and Slot. The only thing slightly putting me off that is there are rumours going around that they're still looking at forward Bournemouth, which would make his minutes a little bit weaker. I wonder, looking at that, if Cliver and Wissa is the best shout in the long term as well. I would probably say I prefer Dango, Ouattara and Slot, but there is a slight risk. And if you don't want to take the risk, probably Cliver and Wissa. Just about. That's a close one, though. Khan says, in a soup now. Is that saying? In a soup? Made 3 early free transfers to get Gakpo and Pickford. Okay, giving me your team. Want to use the assistant manager and we'll have to -4. Help. 0.4 in the bank. Mate, the only way that I can help with this is just to say, you got to sell Gakpo or Trent if you want to play it. Or you just sell someone like Hall to Howson, would give you the money to go and get Moyes. So it's up to you if you want to take one of your good assets out, basically, Khan. But I would do Gakpo to Wissa. Yeah, Gakpo to Wissa and play it on slot. Martin says, Canate to Kirkes or Howson? Yeah, I think... Oh, I did that one, didn't I? And the answer was Howson. Hope that makes sense. Sorry, YouTube's playing up with the ordering of the messaging, so it's making it a little bit more difficult for me. Hi, Ross. Daft question, but I've got triple captain and assistant manager. Is it best to use the assistant manager this week? Bit confused by it all. Which is best? I honestly think you're very close in terms of triple captain this week, and then assistant manager 25, 26, 27, or assistant manager this week, and then triple captain in 33 or 36. I would just about lean towards still saying assistant manager this week. But if you can't really get the assistant manager active on slot in an easy way, maybe triple captain this week is the best play, and then assess what you want to do for assistant manager next week. I think those with a triple captain in the back pocket is a little bit more difficult in terms of what you choose to do right now. Dennis said, love the tip. Mrs. said I got 30 minutes to fix my team, then we're going out for lunch. Slot is in with the assistant manager chip now, easy. Best to replace Bruno, 7 million in the bank. I think Wood Pedro stays. I'd go for Cliver, probably, or Semenyo. I'd go for a Bournemouth midfielder, I think, if you're moving this week. I don't know why. I absolutely love that your missus has given you 30 minutes. You know what? Props to her. A lot of missuses wouldn't give you 30 minutes. 30 minutes is a decent amount of time, you know? Assistant manager active. Wood and Jackson to Wissett and Watkins or roll. Oh, I did that one, didn't I? Right, this is the issue. I'm really like messed. Okay, here we are. Hayden. Transfers. Raya to Pickford, Pedro to Wissa, Salah triple captain. Yeah, that's beautiful, mate. Really like those moves, Hayden. Can't think of anything else I'd want to do instead. Really nice. Raya to Pickford, Pedro to Wissa, such an upgrade. 0 free transfers, 0 in the bank. Want to keep 3 Liverpool assets. Do I downgrade Wood for Ndiaye or Hall for Mikalenko and bring in Moyes? I think Wood for Ndiaye, I think I prefer slightly. Wood for Ndiaye, probably. It's close, though. Bench 2 of Colwell, Aina, Robinson, Jackson, Cliver, Ahmad. Colwell and Robinson. Janagna says, thoughts on Bruno to Rodgers, Gakpo to Watkins for -4 to bring in slot, or go Bruno to Mbeumo and Gakpo to Wissa and Ndiaye, no Villa. I love Bruno to Rodgers and Gakpo to Watkins. If Liverpool reach the final, you have 2 doublers next week. But if they don't, then I probably would have preferred Mbeumo and Wissa. So I will leave it up to you. If you think Liverpool reach the EFL Cup final, and remember they lost the first leg 1-0, I would go for Watkins and Rodgers. But if you don't think they reach the final, or you're not sure, maybe Mbeumo and Wissa. Hopefully that helps. By the way, I've just seen we've only got 300 likes on the stream. And as much as I'm grateful for those 300, there are over 3,300 people watching. So 3,000 of you watching right now haven't liked the stream. Could you please like the stream? But also, more importantly, make sure to subscribe. I would really appreciate anyone that subscribes that hasn't done so already. Blicky94 says, hi Ross, 2 free transfers, 1.4 in the bank. Oof, almost the money. Going Gordon to Mbeumo and Ahmad to Rodgers. Okay. Decision is, Isak to Watkins / Ndiaye. Watkins gives Moyes assistant manager. Ndiaye gives Slot assistant manager. Oh, Watkins is just such a better asset than Ndiaye, isn't he, though? Can you not... Why are you doing Ahmad to Rodgers? Would you have the money? I feel like Gordon to Mbeumo and Ahmad to Rodgers don't need to happen. Surely you can make a move here which involves you getting the money for Slot without having to make the move to sell Isak. I don't know. It feels like you don't really need to do the Gordon to Mbeumo and Ahmad to Rodgers moves this week. It feels like they're like luxury moves that aren't that necessary. Like Gordon and Ahmad could both absolutely smash it this week. That would be my decision. But I probably still prefer Ndiaye and Slot overall. Liam says, I have the same team as you, but Sanchez is my keeper. Would you swap Mateta for Wissa to get Slot? Yeah, I would probably go Wood to Wissa. But if that doesn't give you the funds or you want to keep Wood, then yeah, I think Mateta to Wissa is a fine transfer. Yeah, this name is made for your stream. I love you. Thank you, W Stream. Trina says, hey, Raptor, I got Pickford, Munoz, Hall, Gabriel, Palmer, Rodgers, Gordon, Salah, Isak, Wood, and Gakpo. Saar, Robinson, and Kirk is on the bench. It's a lovely team. 3 free transfers, slot activated. What changes would you make with 3 free transfers? I would absolutely categorically roll the transfer. Roll the transfers. So you have 4 free transfers next week. We've got a double game week next week, and your team is in such a good position. I think it is absolutely a roll, Trina. Next week, I think you're probably looking at maybe a Bournemouth midfielder, but you're also looking at attacking the doubles, right? You've already got Rodgers in place, but maybe you want to go out there and do something like Isak to Watkins, for example. So I think next week, you attack the doubles. Oh, you've given me the context of your team. I understand. Honestly, mate, I think in your position, you're in a fine. I would just free up the money to just get Slot, and I don't think I would do the Gordon to Mbeumo move, and I wouldn't do the Ahmad to Rodgers move either, personally. But that's easy for me to say. I've got Mbeumo and Rodgers in my team right now. Thoughts on using triple captain now and assistant manager next week? Yep, absolutely fine, Sandeep. I've said that a couple of times. I really don't mind that. Horea says, no free transfers, 3 Liverpool, 0.4 in the bank. Gordon to Dango and assistant manager Moyes in, or Gordon to Dango and Gakpo to Watkins and assistant manager Slot. I think I would do the Gordon to Dango and Gakpo to Watkins and assistant manager Slot. Yeah, I think I'll do that. It does require the extra -4 hit, but I think it's worth it, Horea. Who to start, Sells or Henderson? I would personally start Sells there. Gab, Constant, and Munoz in defence for last defence position. Trent and Mikalenko starting. I would start probably Munoz. And then at least you've hedged the bets a bit. So Sells and Munoz. And then if Palace do keep clean sheet, you've at least gone for Munoz. 2.4 in the bank. Transfer Pedro to Wissa after the assistant manager chip on slot. 0.9 left. Or Gordon to Mbermo, 0.5 left. I think I prefer Gordon to Mbermo. Gets you another penalty taker, right? I'd probably go Gordon to Mbermo there. Just about. But I think that one's close because obviously Wissa's not as good as Mbermo, but Gordon's better than Pedro. But I'd probably lean that way. Stick to triple captain Salah. Then next week, where was I? Stick triple captain Salah. Then next week, assistant manager Emery and Wood to Rao. Or now do Wood to Ndiaye and assistant manager Moyes for a -4. 0.2 million in the bank. Have triple Liverpool. I think, Chris, I actually don't mind stick to triple captain Salah, assistant manager Emery next week, and do Wood to Rao. Yeah, I don't mind that, Chris. I think I would do the triple captain in your case. I think in a lot of people's positions, triple captain this week, assistant manager next week. I know yesterday I was very keen. I was like, you've got to play the assistant manager double-double. I do think you could triple captain. I still think in isolation, the better strategy is to play the assistant managership this week, but it's close. Flecken or Kepa? Absolutely Kepa for me. If you can afford Kepa, I think Kepa's the best £4.5 million goalkeeper to buy. Yoel says, I've got Wood, Isak, Salah and Gakpo. 2 free transfers. 0 in the bank. I've got Sarr, Foden and Iwobi. I want Wissa and Slot. What should I do? You want Wissa and Slot? We'll just do Gakpo to Wissa and then Foden to Mbermo. I think that would work. Gakpo to Wissa, Foden to Mbermo and then activate on Slot. And I'd need to work out the funds, but I think that should work for you, Yoel. Mr. Dashmate, good morning. He says, good morning, Goat. Thank you for the super chat as always, my friend. Says, Verbruggen O'Brien. I love the O'Brien pick. I've not seen a single person with O'Brien. But by the way, O'Brien seems to be starting for Everton. And since Moyes has come in, O'Brien's been the more attacking fullback. Trent, Leaf, Ahmad, Mbermo, Rogers, Salah captain, Soboslai, Haaland, Wood. By the way, I love Leaf Davis this week against Southampton. If Leaf Davis gets a 15-pointer this week, I'll be so happy for owners. Fabianski, Luka Dean, Pedro, Robinson. Would you do Sav? Who's Sav? Sav to SpongeBob pre-Assman, then did more. Who's Sav? Oh, was this? Did you have Savinio probably to Soboslai? SpongeBob, I like that. Pre-Assman, then Moyes and O'Brien in for Olarena for a -4. Verbruggen to Pickford for a -4. Okay, I see. Moyes and O'Brien in for Ola Aina for a -4. So you've done that already. So your question to me, is it worth doing for Verbruggen to Pickford for a -4? Firstly, team looks great. That defence with O'Brien and Leif Davison, I'm so jealous of. Would I do for Verbruggen to Pickford for a -4? Yes, because he's got a better fixture in Game Week 29 as well. I'd be very tempted to get that done. I don't expect them to keep a clean sheet. And I think Pickford not only will outscore him this week, but also outscore him in 29. I think it's probably worth doing for Verbruggen to Pickford, you know. I don't normally like a -4 for a goalkeeper, but I don't mind that one. Jim says, used 2 free transfers before the news, then had nothing left over. So went Bruno down to Rodgers and Moyes, and then I'll switch him to Emery. Yeah, I like that, Jim. I think Rodgers, considering price, like price included, is probably a better asset than Bruno if we're looking at value. Like, I'd rather have Bruno, but considering the saving you'll get. And also, if he does double next week, Rodgers, that's great. Should I transfer out Raya? Is he injured out? My instinct is that Raya plays, but I don't know that. Raya might not play. And as a result, I think with the fixture this week, with the fact that he's either going to blank in 29 or play Chelsea, I don't mind Raya to Pickford still as a transfer. Callum says 0.4 and use my free transfer on Semenyo and Mbermo. I have Salah, Gakpo and Diaz along with Palmer, Isak and Rao. Would you triple captain Salah or sell Diaz for Rodgers/Kluivert and use the assistant manager on slot? I would. That's actually a really tough one, Callum. I think I would sell Diaz for Rodgers. Or would I go Kluivert? I think I'd go Rodgers. I think I would do Diaz to Rodgers and use the assistant manager chip on slot. That is very close, though. I still don't mind, as I said, triple captain this week. Where was I? DeVay says, what would you do with my team? 1 free transfer, 0.3 in the bank. So how many... You've got Trent, you've got Gakpo, you've got Salah. Do you have an easy route to free up funds outside of that to go get Moyes? I think your options are downgrade Martinelli to someone like Kluivert and activate it on Moyes, which I think is fine, because then you could do that for free, or you sell Gakpo for Wissa. It's going to be the same sort of recommendations for everyone. So decide. If you really want Slot, Gakpo to Wissa. If you don't really care and you're fine with Moyes, just do Martinelli to Kluivert and activate it on Moyes. If you've got the triple captain, you could also go there as well. Frosty, thank you. And by the way, I'm very sorry for being so behind. I'm trying to go between the normal chat and super chats, and it's bouncing around. It's trying to navigate everything. But Frosty says 8.2 million in the bank. Wait, what? Oh, for a mid. I was so confused by the first part of that message. I was like, how have you done that? Get someone decent like Mbermo, or keep the funds free by getting a Bournemouth mid to potentially get Watkins later, in which Kluivert is the best mid. I love the thought process here, and if Villa get the double next week, you're going to be loving life with that money in the bank to go and attack Ollie Watkins. But Mbermo is so good. Like, whether you get Mbermo this week, like, regardless of the doubles, I would want Brian Mbermo. I'm going to say I would go Mbermo. I'd go Mbermo. But you are a better manager than I am. And you often have these really clever thought processes, so maybe. But if you are going to get a Bournemouth mid, I think Kluivert, based on penalties, based on the way that he's playing, is probably the best mid right now, yeah. I'd go Mbermo, though. Hi, Ross. What to do with this team for assistant manager? 3 Liverpool, Alisson, Trent, Salah. 2 free transfers, 0.5 in the bank. Teams Gabriel, Konsa, Robinson, Kirkes, Martinelli, Palmer, Sarr, Semenyo, Isak. I think you've got 2 options there. I think Alisson to Kepa should allow you to go and get Slot. So Alisson to Kepa, or do Alisson to Pickford and Martinelli down to Rodgers or Kluivert, and then activate on Slot. So I would say Alisson to Kepa in 1 move will do it, or Alisson to Pickford and Martinelli down will allow you to do it in 2 moves. Hopefully that makes sense. Shaunak says, I have Henderson, Gabby, Trent, Munoz, Mo, Cole, and Burmo, Ahmad, Bruno, Wood, Zhao, Fab, Kirkes, Timber, Rao. Okay? 3 free transfers, 660k rank. Timber to Mikalenko. Oh, yeah, mate. That's so easy. That's so easy. You've already got Gabriel, so you've got the Arsenal defence covered. Nice and easy transfer, mate. No, I don't really see another good route there. I think Timber to Mikalenko is perfect. Get that done. Chris says, took a -4 and 2 million in the bank. Slot or Moyes with 3 Liverpool in. I still think Slot. Chris. Jeremy says, ahoy, captain. Who would you bench between Wood, Rodgers, Dango? Been there week in, week out. Your content spices up FPL every time. Thank you so much for being a member for 17 months. Who would I bench between Wood, Rodgers, and Dango? As good as Dango Atara has been, as good as Bournemouth have been, I think I'd attack the fixtures there and I'd bench Dango. But that's a close one. Would you go in Ndai or Wissa? Definitely Wissa. I just think Wissa's a better asset than Ndai. And really, the only extra fixture you get from Ndai is Liverpool. That's the extra fixture that's been added in for the double. So I'd go Wissa. Kanate out to bring in Slot or Roll to get Moyes. Also, what defender to bring in for Kanate? I would sell Kanate and I would bring in a Bournemouth defender. Ideally, you don't play that Bournemouth defender this week, but if you have to, you have to. I would probably go for Housen or Kirkes in most cases for a defender. Or go for Mikalenko. Mikalenko might be the better option this week, or O'Brien or Tarkovsky, etc. Because obviously they have the double in the Leicester fixture. I have 1 free transfer. Got in Gakpo earlier this week. Should I transfer Gakpo for Wissa or transfer Gordon to Mbermo and Moyes? I would go Gakpo to Wissa. Although I do really like Mbermo and Moyes as a pairing, I'd go Gakpo to Wissa. I have 1 free transfer and 1.3 million in the bank. Trade Robinson, Munoz, Ahmad or Pedro for a double game week player. Robinson, Munoz, Ahmad or Pedro for a double game week player. Already have triple Liverpool. I don't think you need to. Pedro to Ndai is not bad, though. Or I would probably go Wissa still there, like I said. I think João Pedro out's the only thing that makes a little bit of sense there for me. Morning, Raya out. Fabianski back up. 4.1 max. Neto, thank you. 4.1 max for Raya out. Oh, or are you saying you want to sell Fabianski? I would just sell Raya for Pickford or Kepa. Personally, if it was me. Ideal says, should I do Alisson to Sanchez Henderson for a -4 or Alisson to Pickford and Gordon to Rodgers for a -8 to afford on a Slot? I have Mikalenko and triple cap. I think Alisson to Kepa would be the move I would do. Ideal. What a name. But I also really do like Pickford and Rodgers as a pairing. So maybe that's the way. Maybe that's the way to go. By the way, you can't triple captain if you assistant manager. I think you know that anyway, but just to confirm, if you play the assistant manager chip over the next 3 weeks, you can't activate any other chips. So be careful. Morning, Ross. Would you start Ahmad or Mateta? Ugh. Penalty taker. I'd start Mateta. I'm a sucker for a penalty taker. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows how much I love a penalty taker. How long we got till the deadline? Just over an hour till the deadline. I think in the next 20 minutes or so, maybe half an hour, I'm probably going to activate the assistant managership. I don't want to leave it too long. Jedi U says, not considering the argument for Trent versus Gakpo, would you rather back Mykolenko with 2 fixtures or Wissa against Spurs? In isolation, it's probably quite close between the pairing, but I think Wissa is a better asset than Mykolenko this week. Like if you could give me an extra Mykolenko or an extra Wissa, I'd probably take the Wissa. But I understand what you're saying, that in isolation, Mykolenko with 2 fixtures could definitely outscore. If he keeps a clean sheet, he's on for a decent score, right? Who would you take a hit for in order to get in slot, Trent or Gakpo? Who has the higher ceiling? I think they've both got a higher ceiling, right? Trent has shown you in recent weeks he can get double digits. Gakpo just got 16. I prefer keeping Trent and selling Gakpo, though. Liam says, 0.8 in the bank, 3 free transfers. Do I do Mykolenko or Mateta? Sorry, do I do Trent to Mykolenko or Mateta to Wissa and get slot? I have the same team as you, but Sanchez in goal. I think Mateta to Wissa is better than Trent to Mykolenko. By some distance, actually. Mateta to Wissa is just a fine transfer. Jake says, Gakpo to Watkins, Wood to Ndiaye, and slot. Sorry, Gakpo to Watkins, Wood to Ndiaye and slot. Or Trent to Tarkowski, Wood to Watkins and slot. Or simply Gakpo to Wissa and slot. I think Gakpo to Wissa and slot is my favourite, Jake. Then followed by Gakpo to Watkins, Wood to Ndiaye, then the Trent to Tarkowski one. So in order of your options, I would say 3-1-2. Hopefully that helps, Jake, but that's what I would go with. Assistant manager Moyes with no hit. Okay, or assistant manager slot for a 4-point hit. I'd go for slot still. Unless you think Everton get a result against Liverpool. Morning, Ross. I can get slot and have the money for Gakpo to either Wissa and Ndiaye. What would you say is a better transfer? Sorry, I'm just catching up with these. You've probably already heard me say this now, but I would go for Wissa instead of Ndiaye. Chelsea Man says, would you do Raya to Pickford, Van Dijk to Mykolenko, Enzo to Mbeumo, and Wood to Ndiaye for a -4? Leaves me with 1.6 for slot. So you're selling Raya, Van Dijk, Enzo, and Wood, and getting Pickford, Mykolenko, and Mbeumo, and yeah. Yeah. I'd get that done. That's a nice set of transfers. Ryan says, Raya to Pickford for a hit or risk Raya starting? I'd be tempted by Raya to Pickford for a hit. Free up some funds. Pickford's a great transfer in any way. I'd be tempted. Tamim says, Pedro to Ndiaye for a -8 and start him over Kluivert. Using the assistant manager on slot. I've got Trent, Salah, and Pickford already. Or just leave Pedro as is, start over Kluivert or bench. I probably wouldn't take the extra hit just to bring in Ndiaye for the sake of it. I would probably leave Pedro. I would probably start Kluivert ahead of Pedro, though. I think Bournemouth are a better team. Kluivert's a better asset. I would probably start Kluivert ahead of Pedro. Which is a crazy thing to say, because I used to love João Pedro, but he's just not been doing it. Hey, Ross, don't you think that targeting a team with high chances of winning, drawing with table bonus is more important than the double game week? I wouldn't say it's more important. I would place a double game week as being higher. Because listen, if Slot goes and gets wins in both games in this double, he'll get you a minimum of 16 points. If a team gets a table bonus in a single week, they'll get you 16 points. What would you say is more likely? A team getting a table bonus win or Liverpool winning both games in the double? It's probably quite close, but I'd just about back Liverpool winning both games in the double. So I think the double game week is more important than the table bonus. MN Chuckster, what a legend with the super chat as always, my friend. Thank you for your support. I really do appreciate it. Hi, nobody wanted to use the assistant manager chip before the possible double game week announcement. Why did everybody change their mind? If Liverpool gets the extra fixture, can't I just enable the chip next week? I don't feel that confident that Liverpool will do well this week. It's because you get 5 fixtures rather than 4. I mean, you could technically get 3 if you play it in singles, but normally, in a double game week, you would then get 4. Now, if you play it in a double-double, you're getting 5. So this is technically, in terms of optimizing the amount of potential you have, is the best week to play the chip because you get 5 fixtures from it. So that's why we're all so keen on it now. It's just playing the odds, essentially, I guess. Sell Gakpo or Trent for slot. Still Gakpo for me. But I don't think it's not that easy of a decision. I think Gakpo's a fine hold. If you'd rather sell Trent because you think Bournemouth and Everton can score and you think Gakpo has the higher ceiling, absolutely sell Trent. Hi, Ross. I think you missed my super chat. Sorry, Dahlia. I'm getting to them. I might have missed it or I might just be behind. Let me have a look. I reckon I just haven't seen it yet. It's not even there, Dahlia. Sorry. I actually can't see it. Let me have a look for it in a second. I'll have a look in a second for you. Sorry. Right, Stephen has been a member for 40 months. Bloody hell, Stephen. That's a long time. Debating the best options. Sarta Dango. By the way, I really do appreciate it. Sarta Dango, and this is a rotating fifth mid. Wood to Wissa. Both moves would free up funds for Moyes and then Emery. Sarta Dango or Wood to Wissa? Probably Sarta Dango. This week, I prefer Wood to Wissa, but in the long term, I think Dango's a better asset than Sar. Scott says, I've gone Gakpo to slot for a -4. My free was Gordon to Mbermo. My team is Sells, Gabriel, Trent Hall, Ahmad Palmer, Mo, Mbermo, Wood, Wissa, Isak. Can I have some advice, please? No bench. Looks nice, mate. I mean, having no bench isn't ideal, but your starting 11's banging. I think it's a good team. I think you should hopefully get a green arrow with that, especially with the assistant manager chip active. Start who between Fabianski or Henderson and Vandenberg or Castagna? Well, Fabianski doesn't start, so Henderson. And Vandenberg or Castagna, definitely Castagna for me. I think that's pretty easy. Henderson and Castagna. Canate to Mikalenko. Okay. Gordon to Rogers, -8. Or Trent to Mikalenko, -4. Assistant manager slot. That's tough. I'd go the Canate route, though. I'd go the Canate route, Tobias. Is Bruno to Mbermo for a free sideways move this week? Is Bruno to Mbermo for free a sideways move this week? I mean, I literally made that exact move, but I now regret it because that extra free transfer could be useful next week. So yes, it does feel a little bit sideways now in the context of Double Gameweek 25. The fact that you've got Ahmad and Bruno, though, makes me a little bit more tempted to do it. I would still say that's a fine transfer, but it also might not be the most optimal use of a transfer right now, considering we have a double game week next week where you might want to attack and bring in doublers. Like, saving that transfer might allow you to downgrade Bruno to someone else and go and get Ollie Watkins if Villa double, for example. Or it might be that you say, actually, I want to go out there instead and get Raul Jimenez in the attack and I don't want to use a transfer in the midfield. So, yeah, I probably now wouldn't make the Bruno to Mbermo move if I hadn't already made it early. -4 for Gabriel's Canate for slot or Moyes for free. I don't mind Gabriel's Canate. Do you mean Canate to Gabriel? I assume you mean Canate to Gabriel. Yeah, I don't mind that in that case. I still think that I just prefer slot, basically. I'm just repeating myself a lot, but yeah. Gakpo to Ndiaye for free or Wissa and Damgard. Sar plus -4. I'm a bit confused by that. Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry, Gakpo to Wissa and then you'd do Damsgaard in for Sar for a hit. I'd probably just do Gakpo to Ndiaye in that case. Start 2 of Hall, Aina, Gabriel. Oh, that's really tough. Probably Hall and Aina. I'd probably bench Gabriel there. I don't like benching Gabriel, but I would definitely start Lewis Hall, Aina or Gabriel. I'd still start Lorena, I think. Saptashi says, Van Dijk or Trent, whom to sell or bring a slot? I would sell Van Dijk. No, I would rather sell Van Dijk than Trent personally. If you're asking for my opinion, I think Trent's a much better asset than Van Dijk. Don't want to out Gakpo for slot -4. So going the Moyes to Emery route. Have to take a -8 next week to get Bournemouth mid and Watkins next week though. Yeah, listen, I'm not going to put you off it. If you think Moyes is a good assistant manager, I don't think he's bad. I just think the slot's better. I want to make that very clear because I feel like I'm putting loads of people off going and getting Moyes. Moyes isn't a bad assistant manager at all. Leicester is a great game and they could absolutely upset Liverpool. And Bournemouth and Everton isn't an easy double game week for Liverpool either. So Moyes is fine. I just prefer slot. Who do I sell for Bruno to get slot? Who do I sell Bruno for to get slot? Well, if you want to stick with Man United, get Ahmad. Otherwise, I think Rodgers and Bournemouth midfielders are where I would go to. I'd go all the way down. Cameron... Oh, sorry. I've just lost... Where was Cameron? Cameron Thompson says, triple captain Salah game week 25 if they double. Keep assistant manager for game week 36. You're just missing out on such potential. Also, there is a small chance that game week 36 or 33 isn't a double. I forgot which one James said. But he said that they might essentially combine the doubles. So I think game week 36 might not end up being a double, depending upon the way that the fixtures fall. I I would rather, Cameron, triple captain this week and then assistant manager next week. I think I would play the assistant manager chip in one of the next 2 weeks, personally. Trent to Mikalenko -4 on slot and the money for Watkins. I don't hate it. That sounds crazy, selling Trent for Mikalenko for a hit. But I think I answered your question in the end, Isaac. Do you know? Ben says Allison to Pickford and Gordon to a Bournemouth mid, -4, and assistant manager slot. Or Gordon to a Bournemouth mid for free and assistant manager Moyes. My gut tells me Liverpool drop points. If your gut tells you Liverpool drop points, go for the second option. I would do the Allison to Pickford move, though. Because that's what I'm going to do. But yes, if your gut's telling you they drop points, then don't. If you think that Liverpool, if you have a strong feeling that Liverpool drop points against Bournemouth or Everton, I would not play the assistant manager chip. I still think that Liverpool get 2 wins. That's my prediction. So I am therefore going to play the chip. But yeah, if Liverpool drop points against Bournemouth today, let's say they lose, that's a disaster of a chip at that stage, right? Because he doesn't have the upside of the table bonus. We really need 2 wins from slot. Can you pick 2 of Hall or Colwill, Rodgers or Kluivert to start? And for your first assistant manager picking, is it free? Yeah, to pick the first assistant manager, that's free, doesn't require a transfer. Hall or Colwill, I'd go Hall. Rodgers or Kluivert, I'd go Rodgers. So I'd go Hall and Rodgers. Mac14 says, 1 free transfer. Would you sell Gakpo to Wissa to use slot? Yes. Would you sell Alisson to a 4.5 goalkeeper to fund slot? Yes, I would go Kepa. Alisson to Kepa is a fine transfer. Will of its own has become a Rap Tier 2 member. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Will. Tan Peng Liang says, I have Flecken, Verbruggen, Gabriel, Munoz, Van Dijk, Robinson, Mascara, Mbeumo, Salah, Rogers, Palmer, Isak, Ahmad, João Pedro, Gakpo. Van Dijk to Howson to get slot in. Should I still drop to Wissa? Loving the stream. Van Dijk to Howson seems perfect. The only reason that you... Should I still do JP? Oh, should I still do JP to Wissa? I'd probably leave it. Yeah, I'd probably leave it and just attack the double next week. But Van Dijk to Howson's a great transfer to fund that. I think that's a nice, easy one for me. Sorry if there's a tiny little bit of lag. My computer's having a bit of a fit. Sophie with a super chat. Thank you very much, Sophie. Says, replacing Ismail Assar with Ahmad or Kluivert. Start Rodgers or Semenyo? I still think I'd start Rodgers. In terms of replacing Ismail Assar with Ahmad or Kluivert, I think I'd... You've got Semenyo already. Would I go double Bournemouth or Ahmad? I still think I'd go Kluivert and just attack the double Bournemouth mids. But yeah, in that case, though, would I then start Kluivert? Then you're going to be benching both your Bournemouth midfielders. I would start Rodgers, I think, Sophie. But that's not an easy one. Yoel says, I've got Dubravka, Raya, James... Okay, I'm not going to read out your whole team because it's painful to listen to, but I'm reading through it now. I want some Brentford players and slot. Help me out, bro. 2 free transfers, 0 in the bank. Thanks. Yeah, mate, it's a nice, easy one. Gakpo to Wissa and Raya to Pickford, and then activate the assistant manager chip on slot. Your other option is... No, actually. No. Reverse that. You got Foden there. You could do Foden to Mbeumo, couldn't you? You don't have 3 Liverpool, do you? So I'm just trying to work out your team. Gakpo, Salah, and that's it. Okay, ignore what I just said. Foden to Mbeumo, and then assistant manager on the slot. That's it. Right? You could also do Wood to Wissa if you wanted to, but I would just do Foden to Mbeumo and assistant manager slot. Ralph says, start Saliba / Munoz. Good luck with slot. I have Moyes. Good luck with Moyes. I don't mean that, but good luck anyway. I would start Munoz ahead of Saliba. Raya to Pickford and Moyes, or Gakpo to Wissa and Dye in slot. The latter for me. Play Ahmad or Murphy. Ahmad. Ahmad for me. Whoa. Computer froze. Computer froze alert. Oh no, computer froze. Oh my god. That's my internet gone. Don't know if you can still hear me, chat. Okay, it still says I'm connected. Hello? Can you say in the chat if you can hear me? My whole computer just crashed. I think I was still streaming. Can you hear me? Still live, boss. Okay. I just got, on Chrome when you get the big error message and the little dinosaur. That's not what you want. Okay, thanks. God, that was insane. My whole stream just crashed. Maybe that was a YouTube thing rather than me. Anyway, sorry. Back to answering your questions. Nicola says, missed super, more money. Here's a $250,000 deal. I think I answered your question eventually, mate. Sorry if I didn't. Would you play Semenyo over Timber? Yes, I probably would. Sounds crazy, but would you start Greaves instead of Timber? Nah. Actually, I'd be tempted to start Greaves instead of Timber, you know? Because Timber doesn't have the same attacking threat as Gabriel. You'd expect City to score. I think I would. I think I would start Greaves instead of Timber. I'd go for it. But Timber's probably going to score now. Would I start Ahmad or Rodgers? I'd probably start Ahmad ahead of Rodgers. Home game. Ahmad's been playing really well. Got a bit of a rest, obviously, in the Europa League. Jackson to Cunha to fund Moyes, then Emery next week. Jackson to Cunha. I actually don't mind. It's a couple of weeks early on Cunha. Really, you'd want Cunha in 26. I'd probably go Wissa instead of Cunha, but it's a cheeky little transfer. I don't mind it. Joel says Gakpo to Wissa, Raya to Pickford, -8 for Slot, or Gakpo to Ndiaye, -4. I quite like the double move, to be honest. I quite like Gakpo to Wissa, Raya to Pickford, Joel. Nikhil says, hi Ross. Hi Nikhil, good to see you. Sold Jackson to Gakpo last night. Now thinking of moving Gakpo for Wissa to play the assistant manager on Slot. Yeah, I would be very tempted to do so. Especially as you can do it for free. Still have the free transfer. Yeah, because you still have the free transfer, I would be very tempted to do that, yeah. Hatik says, got Gakpo early. Don't want to drop my 3 Liverpool. That's fine. Or get Moyes. Only to see them get battered by Rude Ball. Then take another -4 for Emery. Is it better to miss the upside and keep the chip than misplay? Thoughts? If you genuinely think that Moyes and Slot do quite badly this game week and you don't really fancy Emery next week, you don't have to play the assistant manager. Like, you should make your own decisions in FPL. And if you've got a bad feeling about the assistant manager over the next 2 weeks, that's absolutely fine to keep it. I have no issue with it. I still think that it's worth it because you get five fixtures rather than 3. Like, you're just playing the odds of getting as many chances for points as possible. I did ride to pick with my free transfer. Do I take a -4 for Slot, only have 2 Liverpool, or go -8? Van Dijk to Trent and Slot assistant manager. Which option should I choose? I just think keep Van Dijk and just activate the assistant manager. Yeah, I don't think you need to take a -8 to do Van Dijk to Trent as well. Would you do a -4 to replace Sanchez? Already have 2x2 tripled up. Would I take a -4 to replace Sanchez? I think Sanchez keeps his place, but the quotes from Maresca are a little bit worrying. Like, if you saw, he's been very positive about Sanchez. And then in the last interview, he said he's not sure Jorgensen's been playing very well. At some point, Sanchez is going to lose his place. That's why I sold Sanchez last week. Rowan says, 1 free transfer, Kanate to Mikalenko and Slot for assistant manager, or triple captain in Salah and 8 Nuri to Mikalenko. I would go Kanate to Mikalenko and Slot assistant manager for free. That feels like a pretty good set of moves. Where was I? Kanate to Slot or -4 or Moyes for free. Kanate to Slot again. Assistant manager or triple captain this week if chasing in my mini league. Do whatever you think your other mini league rivals won't do. But I still think assistant manager probably. Especially if you can do it for free, as you've said, Tanesh. Josh says 0.4 in the bank. Allison to Pickford, Mateta to Wissa -4. Or same goalkeeper move and Sarr to Dango. I think Sarr to Dango in the long term is better, but Mateta to Wissa this week's better. I would go Sarr to Dango. I think it's a better move in the long term. I prefer Mateta to Sarr. So yeah, I was just about to say there. Thor says, not much to mention from the feud in Game Week 23. 59 points versus 56. Okay, a little bit of a level playing field here. Both captaining Salah. We are both going assistant manager Slot and Salah captain. She's got Gakpo and Young, Trent and Ndiaye for me. Good luck. I think that's going to be very close, actually. I feel like you should play out on David Moyes and create the big. Can you imagine sitting down and watching Liverpool Everton if you're assistant managing Moyes and she's got Slot? That would be pretty funny. But best of luck to both of you. I hope it goes down to the final few game weeks. Tarun says, did 3 early transfers for a -4 this week? Do you think it's worth taking another hit for Slot? We'll be sacrificing Wood. Oh, you never want to sacrifice Wood. Do I think it's worth taking another hit? I don't mind it, yeah. Wood down to Ndiaye or Wiss is not the end of the world. Wood's fixtures after Brighton are rubbish. They're really rubbish. I might sell Wood next week for Watkins if I can get there, or for Raul Jimenez. I'm looking at possible moves which involve losing Wood next week, depending on the way the doubles fall. I might even still just do Wood to Wissa next week. Double Brentford goalkeeper, 0.9 in the bank, 4 free transfers. 1 Gakpo to Wissa, 2 Diaz to Mbermo with Wood to 5.8 or less, or BF to Kluivert, Bruno Fernandes to Kluivert, 3 just get Moyes. I think Diaz to Mbermo and Wood to Ndiaye. The only reason I wouldn't go Raul Jimenez is because if they don't double in 25, then I don't like him. If they do double in 25, then I do like him, right? I would probably do Diaz to Mbermo and Wood to Ndiaye would be the moves that I would go for. Sebastian says, Gahey, Trent, Burn, Salah, Fernandes, Mbermo, Kluivert, Gakpo, Mateta, Wood, with a bench of Robinson, Gvardiol, Matoma. Triple captain Salah this week, roll 1 transfer, and assistant manager next week. What are your thoughts? Yeah, really nice team, really nice strategy. I've got no issue with triple captain 24, assistant manager chip 25. That's an absolutely fine move, in my opinion. Gakpo to Ndiaye equals slot, or Raya to Pickford equals Moyes. I'd be tempted to make both and go slot. I'd be tempted to do both Gakpo to Ndiaye and Raya to Pickford. Noel says, bench 1, Rodgers, João Pedro, or Sarr. Probably João Pedro Sarr. I'd bench João Pedro Sarr. I would bench João Pedro or Sarr. Man United stink. I'd bench João Pedro. Or use 1 free transfer, Sarr to Dango. Feels too early for that move, right? Slot as the assistant manager. Yeah, I don't think you need to do Sarr to Dango this week. I'd bench João Pedro and start Rodgers and Sarr. Gakpo to Ndiaye over Wissa. Nah, I prefer Wissa. Play Sarr or João Pedro. I play Sarr, as I just said. Morning, Ross. Bench 1 of Rodgers, João Pedro, or Dango. Cool, getting lots of the same sort of questions all of a sudden. Lots of benching headaches. Dango. João Pedro. Ooh. João Dango. These are such difficult benching decisions. I would bench João Pedro. No, I wouldn't. Oh, it's so tough. João Pedro stinks, but he's a penalty taker. I would bench Dango. Gakpo to Ndiaye to slot. Yes, do it. AG says, which one would you buy and start for free to free up funds for slot? Ahmad, Kluivert, or another budget mid? I'd go Kluivert, AG. Kluivert. Holly says, hi Ross, bench 2 of Semenyo, Hall, Konsa, Gabriel, Rao. Probably Konsa and Gabriel. Start Greaves or Timber, skincare routine. Does my skin look nice? Thanks, chat. I would start Greaves ahead of Timber. You got me blushing. Bro, love your content. Big up everyone in the live. Big up to you as well, Yoel. Thank you for the support in this stream. I really appreciate it. Atanas says, thoughts on keeping Luis Diaz and selling Trent? No, I'd rather sell Diaz than Trent personally, but Diaz is a super differential. So if you think Diaz starts both in the double, that could go very well for you. Will of Its Own says, good morning, Ross, and that noisy pickle. She's been really quiet since then. My head is a scrambled egg. My team is Raya, Munoz, Van Dijk, Hall, Milenkovic, Palmer, Diaz, Mo, Ahmad, Gordon, JP, Isak, Wood. 3 free transfers and 0.2 in the bank. Help, big kiss. Big kiss to you as well, Will. What would I do if that was my team? So you've got 0.2. You've got 3 Liverpool with Diaz, Mo, and Van Dijk. Okay, so I would, in that position, probably do Van Dijk to Mykolenko and activate the assistant manager chip and then leave it there. That would be what I would do. If you don't like that, then I would do Diaz to Kluivert and do it that way. I think Van Dijk's an easier sell than Diaz for me, just because of how much you can free up. And I still think Mykolenko's a fine pick. You could also look at Raya to Pickford if you really want to go all in on Everton as well. But yeah, I'd probably do Van Dijk to Mykolenko, and I think that gives you the funds if my maths is correct. In fact, that should more than give you the funds, Will. Kieran says, sells to Pickford for a -4. Would I sell sells for a -4 this week? I'm less keen on that one. I like it for free. It's tempting still. Mickey says, start Kluivert or Pedro. Oh, God. I don't know what I've been saying on this one, but probably Kluivert. Dahlia says, Virgil to O'Brien or Tarkovsky -4 to free up slot. I have Salah and Gakpo. Not optimistic about Moyes or Everton. Captain and Gakpo, I think. If you're not optimistic about Moyes or Everton, then you probably shouldn't bring in an Everton defender, right? But I understand what you're saying. Tarkovsky's got the most attacking threat. If you can afford Tarkovsky instead of Mikalenko, could go quite well for you. Right, how long we got? We've got 40 minutes. I'm very tempted to just activate the assistant manager chip now, just in case. You know, you just don't want to risk it sometimes. I'm very, very tempted. Yeah, maybe. Chat, I think I'm going to activate the assistant manager chip right now. So I'll get back to answering your questions in a second. I just think this is a good opportunity for me to just get it done so I don't have to be stressing right close to the deadline and I can answer your questions instead. I think I just pressed make transfers. I'm already set up. So Allison to Pickford, activate the chip on slot. That should use one of my remaining 2 free transfers, which should mean for Game 25, I have 2 free transfers. If anyone wants to do it with me, get it loaded up. Again, all you have to do is click the chip, activate. It will then say pending. You then have to select the assistant manager that you want to bring in. And then once you've done that, you then have to confirm. And then once you've confirmed, it will be activated. Any suggestions on who I should sell Canate to? Just a Bournemouth defender would be my first choice. And if not Bournemouth, I think Everton defence is still fine as well. Hi, Ross. I hope all is well. Do you think I should do Raul to Ndiaye and slot assistant manager? Just Moyes assistant manager or triple captain Salah? If Raul to Ndiaye frees up the funds to get slot, I like it. If you're just doing Raul to Ndiaye for the sake of it, I would keep Raul. But I assume that that gives you the funds to get slot. I probably would say, in order of what I prefer there, Raul to Ndiaye slot, triple captain Salah, then assistant manager Moyes. MN Chuckster says, going with Moyes, gut feeling about Liverpool dropping points, not much to lose at 2.1 million rank. That's absolutely fine. I respect it. Can you help me with who to start? Colwell, Castagna, or Greaves? Leaning towards Greaves. Good luck with slot. Honestly, mate, firstly, thank you so much for all of the support. But secondly, if you're 2.1 million rank, you're going with Moyes, and you've got a gut feeling about a bullet header from Greaves, I think you should go for Greaves. I really do. And just hope that you get another header from him. He is a bit monstrous in the air. Start Dango or Wood? I would start Wood. Morning, start 2 of Ahmad, Wissa, and Rogers. I would start... That's very, very difficult. I would start Ahmad and Wissa, I think, PSV. Triple captain Salah 24, assistant manager 25 for Villa, 26 Newcastle, 27 who? Don't worry about 27 yet, Martin, but yes, that's a nice strategy. But we'll worry about 27 in 27, right? You don't have to make that decision right now. Ajay says, hey Ross, thinking Gakpo to Ndiaye for a hit, then activating assistant manager on slot, then banking on Liverpool double next week, then transfer out Isak for Watkins. Thoughts? I've got exactly the same plan right now in terms of maybe doing Isak to Watkins. And yes, I think it's worth just attacking the double-double. Morning, Ross. Captain Gakpo given Salah's EO. That's such a risk. Only if you really need to chase. Like, if you're really, really chasing, you could captain Gakpo. I just think Salah's a better asset. Also, start Gordon or Kluivert. Absolutely Gordon. Absolutely Gordon. Is Canate starting? You'd imagine so. Yeah, I think he'll start every Premier League game. Mohar says, already got Gakpo for -4 earlier this week. I can play the assistant manager on Moyes for free or take another hit to get Gakpo out to play it on slot. It's the same decision people are making all the time. How much do you think slot wins both games? And do you think Gakpo goes big? That will make the decision for you, but I would still be tempted. Tan Piang Liang says, hi again, Ross. Bench one of João Pedro. Sorry, I'm butchering your name, by the way. I'm trying. Bench one of João Pedro, Ahmad or Rogers. I'd bench João Pedro from those 3. And one of Flecken or Verbruggen. I'd probably bench Flecken and start Verbruggen. I also have Munoz starting, though, so I'm... So I'm guessing start João Pedro and Rogers. Yeah, I guess if you want to avoid the clash, actually, you could bench Ahmad if you just want to back Munoz. But I would still start Ahmad. Sorry, I would still start Ahmad and Rogers. Hiya, done Gakpo to Wissa. Don't like this chip. I hate the chip. I'll be honest. Even if this goes well, and you can come back to me if I change my mind, I don't like this chip. Even if this chip goes perfectly for me, I don't think it's a great chip. It inherently changes what the game is about. The game is about picking 15 players with a budget of 100 million. That is the simplicity of it. And chips that allow you to get a bench boost or a triple captain, they're fun. This is different. This isn't what FPL is about. I don't want to back teams. I don't want to have a manager that I have to use extra. Like, it changes it for me. 2 from Ahmad, Richarlison, Gordon. Ahmad and Gordon for me. Timber or Robinson? Robinson, just. AKU says, hey Rusty, the only thing stopping me from activating the assistant manager is the possible Liverpool double in 25. It feels like an excellent triple captain for Salah. Any thoughts? That would make me want to play the assistant managership even more, though. Because if it's a great triple captain opportunity for Salah, then it's a great option to have Slot as the assistant manager, right? So that makes me want to use the assistant manager even more, if that makes sense. PJ says, hey Ross, 3 free transfers, but have Raya and Ramsdale. Do I need a keeper? Planning Gakpo to Wissa so I can assistant manager on Slot, or do I triple Salah and assistant manager next week? I would probably just do Raya to Pickford anyway to be safe. You might not end up needing a goalkeeper, but Raya to Pickford to be safe makes a lot of sense. I have Sanchez and Fabianski. Should I do a -4 for Pickford? Probably, yeah, just in case Sanchez doesn't play. Sorry if I missed it. Why are you taking Alisson out? Because I need 3 Liverpool positions to activate the chip on Slot. So I have to sell one of Trent, Salah, or Alisson. Double Ipswich defence, ? Muric and Greaves could play Sells. I would probably play Sells. I don't know if I'd back double Ipswich defence, personally. Septashi says, hi Ross, start João Pedro or Iwobi in Kirkez or Nico Williams. I'd start João Pedro ahead of Iwobi. And I would start Nico Williams ahead of Kirkez. J Pup says 0.1 in the bank, 2 free transfers, but I want to roll to do Isak to Havertz / Watkins next game week to get Moyes now. Should I do Sarr to Altaro Danga or Gordon to Rodgers or Mateta to Wissa? I think Sarr to Dango or Mateta to Wissa, I think I prefer. I'd keep Gordon one more week. I think Mateta to Wissa just, but that's a very close one. I also quite like Sarr to Altaro Danga longer term, but this week Mateta to Wissa feels like the best transfer. Hey Ross, Gakpo to Ndiaye for Slot, assistant manager for free. Yep, I like that shake. Who to remove for Slot, Trent or Gakpo? I would marginally lean towards removing Gakpo personally. Thor says, a hit to get Pickford in for Bentley, got the funds, and bench Raya, or just stay with Raya without any backup. My favourite option would be neither of those. I would just do Raya to Pickford. I also don't hate the idea of having Pickford and Raya. It's just a lot of money tied up in the goalkeeper. So I would say Raya to Pickford or leave it would be my recommendation. AKU says, yeah, but I mean the difference is 5 points per goal for Salah versus 1 point per goal for Slot. Yes, but you also get 6 points for a win, whereas Salah gets 0 points for a win. I do understand what you're saying, by the way. Salah could outscore Slot conceivably in Game Week 25, but the double-double just leans me towards assist man. AKU, I'll be honest, with the amount of messages you've sent about not seemingly wanting to play the assistant managership, I probably wouldn't. Like, that tells me that your gut feeling is telling you that this isn't the best way to do it. Is this the final team, Rossi boy? Right, I'm going to make it. Okay. Alisson Becker to Pickford. Activate the assistant manager. Confirm. This is a momentous moment. That is the first ever assistant manager chip activated on this YouTube channel. How exciting. There he is. Just scroll down. There's the boy. He's going to be slightly off the screen now, though. It's ruined the graphic. I'll tell you that much. I can just make it a little bit bigger, I guess. No, that's not what I meant to do. There you go. So you can see that the entire thing. There we go. I need to take a screenshot of that actually before I forget. And then we'll be good. Who are we vice captaining? I should probably put my vice captain on Trent, shouldn't I? But then.
No, don't copy me.
But he's my only other doubler from Liverpool.
Everyone thinks I copy you.
Well, then you should stop copying me. How about that?
No.
Why are you so upset about a vice captaincy?
I refuse that because that was my little.
You need to stop copying me. It's getting quite embarrassing.
No. You've turned your team back into my team, and now you're going to vice captain the same.
Can you hear her over there? God, getting an earful from the missus in front of 4,500 people. Sucks to be me. Sucks to be me.
Everyone thinks I'm copying you.
Sucks to be me. Right, where was I? That's funny. I'm trying to. Can I answer people's stream questions, please? Pickles lost her head once again. Absolute head loss. Imagine losing your head in front of almost 5,000 people. Could never be me. I'm joking. Basically, we always end up making very similar moves, but we don't really discuss them that much, and then people think she's copying me, and she actually doesn't. There you go. I've just told everyone that you're not copying me. There you go. Faisal says, I have 2 Liverpool defenders and Salah, and there's 2 Everton defenders. If I get Slot, I will sell 1 Liverpool defender to get triple Everton defence. or a non-double game week player, or just get Moyes, got 3 free transfers. I would just get maybe a Bournemouth defender, sets you up better long term. I don't know that I'd want triple Everton defence. Yeah, I would probably get a Bournemouth defender, and I would still do it personally, Faisal. Sanchez to Pickford or Semenyo to Rodgers? No, not Semenyo to Rodgers. Sanchez to Pickford, absolutely. Jude says, did Van Dijk, Pedro, Sarr to Mikalenko, Gakpo, Kluivert have Salah, Trent, Pickford, have 2 free transfers and 1.7 in the bank? Is it worth just going Moyes and bank the transfers? I really don't mind Moyes and bank the transfers, but I also don't mind Gakpo to Wissa. Again, a little bit of sunk cost. Just need to just view it based on what it is right now. And if you think it's worth getting slot in, just make the extra move. Bob says, I have Trent, Salah, Gakpo, 1 free transfer, 1 million. Sell Gakpo to Wissa and get slot, or go Moyes. Explain why it's option 1, please. Just because I think slot will outscore Gakpo. And then you're also getting slot potentially for another double in 25 if they reach the EFL Cup final. So I think the upside is there to attack. That being said, if Gakpo goes and gets 2, 3, 4 goals in this double, then it's probably a mistake to have sold Gakpo. You need to weigh up how well you think Gakpo does in the next 2 or 3 game weeks. And is it worth losing him? I can't make that decision for you because I don't know. I wouldn't have expected Gakpo to get 16 points last week. If he goes and gets 16 points against Bournemouth, you're having a bit of a mare there probably. Although it does mean that at least Slot gets the win probably. Best replacement for Gakpo up to 6.2. I don't know how much Wissa is, but I'm assuming he's more. I think he's 6.3, right? If Wissa's not, then Wissa. Otherwise, I'd still say Ndai as my favourite. I don't mind Raul Jimenez. Again, though, the only way I'd want to go Raul Jimenez is if Liverpool lose to Spurs in the EFL Cup semi-final. They don't make the final, and it seems quite unlikely. Because obviously, Fulham could double next week, but only if Spurs reach the EFL Cup final. Hey, Ross, who to start from Kluivert, Wissa, Rodgers? Definitely Wissa. Alisson or Konate out, and who should I put in? I would honestly rather sell Konate than Alisson, I think. No, I wouldn't. Depends who your backup goalkeeper is. Konate's just more likely to miss a game if one of them are going to miss a game. I think Alisson to Pickford, probably. Start 1 defender and 1 midfielder. Kirkes, Greaves, Kluivert, Rodgers. I'd start Greaves and I'd start Rodgers. And I would back Liverpool to do the business. Unless you've got a feeling Bournemouth do well, in which case you could start Kirkes and Kluivert. Horch says, will there be a better triple captain opportunity this week than this week for the rest of the year? Yes, 1 extra game for the managership, but missing a Salah 2-game haul. I don't think this is a great triple captain opportunity. The concern was that you might want to play the assistant managership later, so play the triple captain now. But if you're playing the assistant managership now, you'll have an opportunity in the future for the triple captain. So I don't mind triple captain, but I equally think assistant manager is slightly better. A lot of good managers are going to triple captain 24 and then assistant manager 25. It's a perfectly viable strategy. Tanishk says, activated the assistant manager on Wolves, expecting a 0 or a 20. Fair play. Could go well for you. Do I think it will go well for you? Maybe. What time is their kickoff? Let me have a look. Oh, it's on TV. It's the 5:30 today. I mean, could Wolves get something against Aston Villa? Yeah. I don't hate it. I've seen a couple of people even have activated the assistant manager on Iraola. Don't mind it. Hi, Ross. Gabriel to Mikalenko for slot funds. Yep, don't mind that. Diaz to Kluivert for a -4 to get slot. Love it. I'd do it. This week, it's so much worse. Like, doing Diaz to Kluivert this week is such a downgrade. That's the only reason I hesitated. But yeah, I'd still probably do it. Hi, Ross. Henderson, Trent. Okay, give me your whole team, Huntrico. Who should I bench out of Rodgers, Ahmad, and Kluivert? Also, assistant manager Moyes. I just think you attack the fixtures, and Rodgers and Ahmad have better fixtures than Kluivert. It's a lovely team, by the way, mate. I would expect you to get a pretty good green arrow. And you got the assistant manager active. Yeah, it's a nice team. I would bench Kluivert, even though he's on penalties. It's just the fixture in it. FM says Moyes or -8 for Gakpo, Mateta to Watkins and Wissa and slot. Gakpo and Mateta to Watkins and Wissa I actually really like. Next week, if Watkins doubles, Wissa's got Spurs this week. I would do it. I like that. Mad Dan 87 says, good morning, Ross. I have 4 free transfers and want to bring in Arne Slot. Okay. My plans are Raya to Kepa, Diaz to Mbama, and Sarr to Dibbling. Leaves me with 0.4 in the bank. Would you do these transfers or go about getting Slot another way? I don't love Sarr to Dibbling. I'm just wondering, is there a way you can make one more transfer and get Sarr to Dango Watara, for example? Like if you make a fourth free transfer, because Dibbling is just not a good 8th attacker, whereas Dango Watara, even if his minutes are slightly reduced, is so much better. So that's what I would do. I like it. It looks good. But I'd see, is there one more move you can make to just to not have to go for Dibbling? Mihir says 2 free transfers, Slot assistant manager and Gordon to Mbermo. Okay. Also considering Raya to Pickford for a hit. Who to bench, Ahmad or Rodgers? Still have triple captain left, so very unsure. I would personally bench Rodgers. Gordon to Mbermo's fine. Raya to Pickford for a hit's not awful. Why do you... Wait, you've got 2 free transfers. Why do you need to take a hit? You know you don't have to use a transfer to activate the assistant manager chip. So Gordon to Mbermo is one of your free transfers. Surely Raya to Pickford would be free as well. So I would do that, yeah. I would get it done with here. Jay says, can't do DCL to Ndiaye and assistant manager Moyes, short of 0.1. Would you start Semenyo, bench DCL and Moyes, thus roll for Gameweek 25, or DCL to Beto and Moyes, but Beto sucks? Beto does suck, but at the same time, he does have a good chance of starting both in the double, as long as Everton don't sign another forward. I'd be tempted to go Beto, Jace. I actually would. Genuinely. I would. I'd maybe attack it. Can you imagine the scenes if he scores? Or maybe imagine he gets like a brace against Leicester. I'd be tempted. Terry Smith says, hi Ross, 0 free transfers, 0 in the bank, and have Trent, Alisson, Salah. Okay. Downgrade Trent and activate Slot assistant manager for -4, or triple captain Salah. No other easy route to Slot. Trent, Alisson, Salah. Downgrade Trent and activate Slot. So I assume you can't do like Alisson to Kepa. No, that would give you 1 million, wouldn't it? Yeah, Trent's the only route there. I don't love selling Trent, but I'd still be very tempted. Do you know what, Terry? Because you've got the triple captain, I would triple captain. But I would also play the assistant manager on Moyes. No, I wouldn't. No, you can't triple captain. I mean, I would play the assistant manager next week, so you're going to need to free up money next week for Emery, probably. So I would triple captain, and then I would assistant manager in 25, Terry. That's what I would do. Mohammed with a super chat, but there was no message, but thank you very much, Mohammed. I appreciate that. Leave Davis and Vandenberg over Robinson and 8 Nuri. I wouldn't play Vandenberg. I'd play Leaf Davis. I'd play Leaf Davis and probably 8 Nuri, you know? Leaf Davis and 8 Nuri would be the way I would go. Moyes to Emery for a hit next week, or Emery now? Emery's so low upside. I would go Moyes to Emery. I'd start Moyes, then go Emery. Because Emery's not getting a table bonus, and I don't think Wolves is an easy game. Wolves away isn't an easy game by any means. So, yeah, you could definitely foresee it being a bit of a... You could foresee an upset, I suppose. FPL Timbers, good to see you, my friend. Says 3 free transfers left with assistant manager set and doublers looking good. 0.1 short of Gordon to Mbermo. Would you also go Wood to Wisser to free up the funds? 2 free transfers and rolling 1 free transfer. Gordon to Mbermo, Wood to Wisser. I mean, if you think Brentford dispatch of Spurs, then probably, yeah. I also think Gordon and Wood are both excellent assets and both playing at home as well. So it also feels like that is a luxury set of 2 transfers. I would honestly lean towards saying I wouldn't make either move and I would just leave it and have more free transfers for the double next week. But I equally think Mbermo and Wisser are probably, for the foreseeable future, a better set of 2 players than Gordon and Wood. Hopefully that... I've not really answered your question, but I wouldn't mind making either or both. But yeah, Wood to Wisser essentially isn't a bad transfer. I was considering it myself, Tim. AG, good to see you, my friend. Says, already have 3 Liverpool. VVD to Mikalenko or Gakpo to Ndiaye to get Slot. I think VVD to Mikalenko is the better transfer there, my friend. I would rather sell Van Dijk than Gakpo. Nabil says, other better triple captain options than this week. Wouldn't those options fight with the bench boost chip? Going with the assistant manager chip this week. This is the concern, is at the moment, we're expecting a small double in 33 and 36. 33 is looking like it could be very small. Or all of the 36 doubles could provisionally be in 23, which would mean no double for 36. So yes, there is a world in which there is not a good triple captain opportunity in the future. But worst case scenario, you just slap it on Salah or Haaland in a good single game week. And we've seen this season, players can, like Gakpo got 16 points last week, for goodness sake. So players can go pretty big in a single week. I mean, Haaland in game week 2 against Ipswich, 17-pointer. So if you have to play the triple captain in a single week, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, there is absolutely a world in which there aren't better triple captain opportunities. Would you rather triple captain or assistant manager slot them? I would still assistant manager, but as I've said on a few occasions now, I do think that triple captain this week and assistant manager starting in 25 is a perfectly viable strategy. Can I just say, by the way, if you've enjoyed all of the stuff on this stream and you've been here for a little bit of it and you're not yet subscribed, please can I ask you to subscribe? We've got 20 minutes till the deadline, plenty of time to do a cheeky little scroll down and hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. Gakpo doesn't love away fixtures. I also think that's largely nonsense. Like, there's not a large enough sample size for me to buy into that. Mikey says, currently got Diaz as my third Liverpool. Take a -4 for Moyes and lose Wood for Wissa, or -4 for Slot and lose Diaz for Kluivert. Currently got Diaz as my third Liverpool. Take a -4 for Moyes. Okay. And lose Wood for Wissa, or -4 for Slot and lose Diaz for Kluivert. I would lose Diaz for Kluivert, Mikey. It's not as great this week, but you're having to take a hit anyway. Rob says, hi Ross, 2 players, Wissa and Watkins and Trent/Canate. I'm so confused. Oh, Wissa and Trent or Watkins and Canate. Is it that sort of pairing? Wissa and Trent. Probably Wissa and Trent. I really hope. Imagine that Liverpool lose both games in this double. That would be a real disaster. It's going to be classic. I'll tell you what, if they lose to Bournemouth today, I'm going to be so sad. Start Semenyo or Sarr. I would probably start Sarr. Gakpo or Ndiaye. Gakpo out for Ndiaye. Yeah, that's fine. FPL goal. For Gakpo out for Ndiaye is a fine move. You get a penalty taker, by the way. All you need is a bit of luck with a penalty for Ndiaye. Start 3 defenders. Nico Williams, Greaves, Mikalenko, Gabriel, Robinson. I would start Mikalenko, of course. I would start Mikalenko, Nico Williams, and Gabriel, and I'd bench Greaves and Robinson. That's quite a tough one. That's not an easy one, Connor. Mad Dan 87 says, my team is Raya, Valdemarson, Trent, Mikalenko, Gabriel, Aina, Hall, Salah, Palmer, Diaz, Rogers, Wood, Isak, and Mateta. Lovely stuff. Who should be my 4th transfer? And to whom, so I can upgrade Dibbling? Oh, Wood. You're saying you want to transfer out Wood? To Wissa? I'm a bit confused. You've said so you can upgrade Dibbling, but Dibbling's not even in your team. I'm so sorry, man. I don't actually understand what you're asking here. You said Wood should be my 4th transfer into whom so I can upgrade Dibbling, but I can't see Dibbling in your team. Sorry, I'll come back to that in a second. Maybe just reply to it so that I understand what you're trying to ask. Gakpo out, Wissa in, okay? Or Trent out, Mikalenko in. I prefer Gakpo to Wissa. Nitty Grader says, cheers. What is the expected points range between Slot, Moyes, or Areola? It would help me getting a ballpark estimate when considering a hit and downgrade a player for funds versus Moyes or Areola for free. If you just type in RobTFPL on Twitter, at RobTFPL, he's probably gone through the points projections. Also, just to give you a bit of an idea on projections, these are the projections this week courtesy of Fantasy Football Hub. So it's 13.1 for Slot, 12.3 for Moyes, 9.3 for Hertzler, 8.4 for Pereira, 7.7 for Areola. So Moyes is actually very close to Slot in these projections. It's very difficult to project across one game week, though, right? Because obviously, if Slot wins, Moyes is going to get very little, if nothing. So it's not easy to project that kind of thing. But that might help a little bit. But obviously, the potential for the table bonus is massive. Oh, my computer's having an absolute mare. Absolute mare. Right, I'm going to stop switching around screens and stuff. That doesn't help, does it? Will there be better options for triple captain in the rest of the season? I think I just answered that one. So maybe just scroll back in the stream a little bit. And I literally just discussed that for a few minutes. Oh my God, my computer just completely crashed again. I think for some reason, it might be a YouTube issue, you know? Who knows? Morning, Ross. Start So Ahmad, Aina, Munoz, and Cliver. Probably Ahmad and Cliver. Start your two attackers if you can. If you have to start a defender, probably Ahmad and Aina or Munoz and Cliver. Because obviously you don't want to start Ahmad and Munoz, preferably. Riot isn't playing, is he? I actually don't know. You never know with Slot. Not with Slot, with Arteta, I should say. Hi, I have to free up 1 million for Slot. Who should I downgrade, Isak or Watkins? And who should I bring in? Or should I get Moyes assistant manager? I would rather... If I was going to sell Isak, I'd want it to be for Watkins. Maybe just go Moyes, Lewis. I don't love selling Isak or Watkins right now. The only one I would want to sell Isak for is Watkins. Hi, Ross. Who would you start out of Hall, Robinson, and Munoz? I can only start one alongside Gabriel and Trent. I would probably start Hall, but I would also personally start Munoz ahead of Gabriel, probably, with the way Man United play. Hi, Ross. Hope you're doing well. I've got Alisson, Van Dijk, Salah, 1 million in the bank, 2 free transfers, no spot for Whistle. What should I do? I would sell Van Dijk for Mikalenko or Alisson for Pickford, and that will give you the funds. Actually, Alisson to Pickford won't, will it? You might have to do Alisson to Kepa. So I would go Van Dijk to an Everton defender or Alisson to Kepa, and that will give you the money, my friend. Gakpo to Wissa, then assistant manager Slot for a -4. Leaves me the exact money for Wood to Watkins next week, but would price me out of Gordon to Mbermo. Gakpo to Wissa, then assistant manager Slot next week. Okay. Okay, but you can't get Mbermo. I like it, though. I would do it, D. I would do it. If you can get from Wood to Watkins, that is a spicy pick. I'm so tempted by Watkins next week. -4 already. 3 times Liverpool, 1.1 in the bank, triple captain use. Moyes assistant manager, or wait. I'd use it. I think if your only option is Moyes, go for it. Otherwise, maybe just see what you can do to try and get Slot. Start one of Rodgers, Ahmad, or Wood. You can only start one of them, probably still Chris Wood. Riot to Pickford, Wood to Wissa, Slot assistant manager, and roll 2 free transfers. Yeah, Riot to Pickford and Wood to Wissa is lovely. Red Mackenzie says, love the streams, bro. Start Rodgers or Semenyo. Thank you very much. I'd start Rodgers instead of Semenyo. Where was I? Have 3 Liverpool. Trent to Kirkes or Gakpo to Ndiaye. I think Gakpo to Ndiaye is a better transfer for me, just about. Watkins is so bait. I don't think it's bait. He's got Ipswich at home next week, a possible double, and he should be on penalties still. And his minutes have gone up massively with Duran leaving. I don't think it's bait at all. Or a trap, I guess, is the correct the FPL term we use. Triple captain Salah or Moyes assistant manager. I quite like triple captain Salah and then activate next week. Triple captain Salah's fine. But Watkins doesn't score. I don't buy into that. Look at what the man did last season. Even this season, he's still got goals. The issue is with Watkins as well. There's such a mental block of knowing that you're probably going to get subbed every 60th min. Like, he now knows he's the main man. They've sold Duran. That confidence boost he's going to get of knowing he's not going to be coming off in the 60th minute. I reckon Watkins is going to go ballistic over the next 5 to 10 game weeks. That's my prediction. You have to think there is more to FPL, more to football than just data or eye test. There's psychology. This is why I love psychology so much. Think about human behavior. It gets to the 50th minute, you've not scored a goal yet. Like, that's going to be playing on your mind. I think it was Chris Wood. Someone said to Chris Wood, like, why are you playing so well under Nuno? And he said, because the manager has shown complete confidence in me and that I know I'm always going to get the minutes. There is something about just having that security in a team. And I think Watkins will feel that right now. So.
He's known to have confidence knocks as well.
Yeah, he is very prone to the confidence knock, absolutely. Luke says, Gakpo to Wissa for a -4 for Slot or Gakpo Salah, triple captain and roll. I think you could triple captain is fine. I also think Gakpo to Wissa is fine. I think for those with the triple captain still to play, you don't have to activate the assistant manager chip this week. You could triple captain and then go next week. I think if you don't have the triple captain left to play, then you should go for the assistant manager. That's sort of my generic advice for everyone, is that it really is dependent on if you have that triple captain. I equally do still believe if you've got the triple captain, you can still keep it though and play the assistant manager instead. Charlie Woodward says, morning mate, does Alisson to Pickford and Wood to Ndiaye, okay, to fund Slot for free makes sense. Keeps 1 free transfer for next week as well. Can't afford Wissa, cheers. It's a lovely set of transfers, mate. You get 2 extra doublers. You would expect that to go fairly well. You get 2 players against Leicester as well. I'd get that done, mate, yeah. Especially as it's for free. Diaz to Ahmad for a -4 to free up the Slot spot. Don't mind it, yeah. Don't mind it. Roll then Dango and Burmo for Cho and Eze next week. Dango and Burmo in for Hudson-Odoi and Eze. Yeah, that feels nice. That feels very nice. Ross, help. I'm on the source. Trade Gakpo for Wissa on a free and get slot. Okay. Or Moyes and triple Liverpool, Salah, Gakpo and Trent. I would go Gakpo to Wissa for free. JC250 says, remember my messages last week about being 450 in the world? I'm now 260th in the chat. We've got someone here that's 260th in the world. Let me know in the chat if anyone's ranked higher than that, and be honest. Okay, right. I feel a lot of pressure for this one. So you're 260th, Val. Slot assistant manager, 4 double game week players, and still have all chips. Your videos are a huge help. Oh, you're not even asking me a question. You're 260th in the world. You've got the slot assistant manager chip and 4 doublers and all of your chips. Your videos are a huge help for strategy. Mate, that's insane. I tell you what, here's my offer to you. If you can get into the top 100, send me a message and I might do like a quick little guest video with you on the channel. If you're up for it, of course. I'd love to get someone on the channel that watches the videos that's doing really well in FPL. That'd be a cool little video to do. But mate, amazing work, really. I hope you have a cracking game week. Darren says... Hi, Ross. Thanks for the head up yesterday regarding assistant manager. Chip has been activated. No worries at all. Benching headache, though. Mazraoui, Gabriel, Greaves, Munoz, Robinson, Murphy, Salah, Bruno, Ahmed, Palmer. Okay, so you need to bench 2 of them. I think that's quite easy, actually. Yeah, that's quite an easy one for me. You bench 2 of the defenders. Mazraoui, I would bench. I'd probably bench No, would I start Mazraoui, actually? I would bench... Actually, it's not as easy as I thought. I said that's easy, Darren. That defence is quite difficult. I would bench Robinson because I think Newcastle score. And I would probably bench Greaves. So I think I would start Mazraoui, Gabriel, Munoz. I think. Lewis says Cliver or Dango Ouattara. I would still go Cliver at the moment if you've got the funds. Mikel says, I have 0 free transfer, 0.1 in the bank, and no triple captain. Should I -4 for Wood to Wissa so that I can buy Moyes? I won't have the funds to switch Moyes without using hits. Yeah, Wood to Wissa to afford Moyes is absolutely fine. I don't mind that at all. If Liverpool qualifies, is 25 a better triple captain week than 24? In isolation, yes, but then you're losing the ability to play the assistant manager chip, right? The thing about playing the triple captain this week is it still allows you to play the assistant manager in 25. MN Chuckster says, last one from me today. Thank you, though, for all of the support. Just curious, I don't see assistant manager spot in my team section on Fantasy Football Hub. Am I blind or is it not there? It's kind of a pain to plan to use the chip if you have to keep the fixtures and budget needed in mind. There should be a way on the... Let me have a look quickly. After the deadline, I can go through that in more detail, but there should be a way. I've not actually activated it on my team. But if you scroll down... There is manager not set, select manager on a slot, choose game week 24, save. I don't know if it's going to pop up straight away. No, it hasn't taken the money out. Yeah, so what you might need to do is edit the money. It might pop up once the game is active, but here you can edit the money, so just take the 1.5 off. It's a bit of a pain. I'm sure they'll look into that if it's not already a feature, though. Hi, Ross. Is Eze to Diaz worth a -4? No Trent or slot. Eze to Diaz? I don't know about Eze to Diaz. I think I'd rather just get Trent or slot. But if you can't get Trent or slot, then Diaz is a massive upgrade. Obviously, Eze's not even going to play, so yeah, I don't hate it. Diaz to slot or assistant manager, or Areola assistant manager next week. I'd still do Diaz to slot in that position. Use my triple captain already. Would you go slot or Moyes? Slot, if you can. Start Gordon or Rodgers, Hall or Aina. Gordon and Hall. I'd back Newcastle. They're a great team. Adam says, just on Gakpo to Ndiaye for free. Only had him a week and I've gone to slot. Assistant manager active. And now I'm thinking, should I have taken out Trent? You've made the move now, mate. Don't fret over it. For what it's worth, I would have taken out Gakpo and kept Trent. Love you, mate. Love your work, mate. Confirmation bias at its finest. We love a bit of confirmation bias here on this channel. Ishi says, hey, Shorty. Hey, Shorty. Gabriel to Howson for slot for a -4-0 in the bank. I like Gabriel to Howson. It's a fine move, yeah. Tamim says, start Cliver or Pedro. I would just about start Cliver, using the assistant manager on slot. Best of luck. Me too. Hi, Ross. With your help, I am ranked 44 in India. 44th in India. That's insane. Some of you have got some insane ranks. I wish I was up there as well. Big love. And there's a lot of really good managers in India as well. It's not like it's a country that isn't renowned for having insanely good managers. So 44th is crazy. Hey, Ross, bench one of Gabriel, Hall or Milenkovic? I would say just about Milenkovic, but that's very close. Julian says, I've used my triple captain. I have 3 Liverpool players. Playing assistant manager, should I pick Moyes or Slot? What should my start be for the next 3 game weeks? I would still go Slot, but you're going to have to sell one of your 3 Liverpool. Otherwise, if you just... Some people just be sat there thinking, I just like my 3 Liverpool. Then just activate on Moyes. You know, it's personal preference. Lewis to Mikalenko, bench Gabriel, or just play Gabs. Lewis Mikalenko / bench Gabriel, or just play Gabs. I'd still probably just play Gabriel, but I don't mind Lewis to Mikalenko, you know. Hi, Ross. Would you start Ahmad or Rodgers this week? I would just about favour the home fixture and go Ahmad. Yeah, you got 5 minutes until the deadline. 5 minutes. If you are planning on activating the assistant manager chip, do it ASAP. I'm going to check on my app once again that I've definitely activated it. But basically, what you have to do, click the assistant manager icon at the top. Click activate. It will then say, click play chip. It will then say pending. Once it says pending on the transfers page, you have to select the manager, transfer them in, press confirm, and then the manager will pop up. It will very much look like the manager is on your bench on the app. Like that, it will look like the green screen's ruining that, but it will look really weird on the app. They're not on your bench. You can't bench the assistant manager. Although if you can, that is so funny. Can you imagine? Oh, sorry, you don't get slots points. They're on your bench. I would, honestly, that would objectively be very funny. Any more leaks apart from the Slot injury? Can you imagine if you lost points if they got injured, like you just didn't get anything, if the assistant manager had to take over or whatever?
Is it a -1 if they get booked?
No.
No. Really?
Yeah, so Pickle just asked, is it a -1 if they get booked or anything like that? The first thing I want to know is that shows how little she watches my content. But also, no, you're not backing the manager. I don't know why they've called it assistant manager. What they should call it is like team backing. Because the actual... Like, let's say that Slot got sacked, which you would never, obviously. It doesn't matter. You'd still get the points. So even if you back Ange Postecoglou next week and he gets sacked, then you still get the Spurs points. You also don't lose points if they get suspended, etc. So you're literally just backing the team. Reckon we get player faces next season like we have managers? It's a cool little addition. I don't know why we never have, to be honest. It can't be for rights or anything like that. I think it's to make it easier for casuals. Because, you know, like you and I watching this, if you show me a picture of Mateta, I'd be able to tell like that it's Mateta. But some people might not know faces as well. So I think that's why they've got the kits, because it makes it a lot easier to identify which team you're picking from. Boona reckons Slot is benched. Slot might be benched, to be fair. Raya to Pickford for a -4. Yeah, I really don't mind it. Dubravka to Kepa for free. With Pope coming back. You know what? I don't hate it. Again. Any team leaks from Liverpool? Nothing, but they are playing at 3 p.m, so it is a bit early. 2 minutes till the deadline. 2 minutes. Get your teams locked in. Start Hall or Gabriel. I would marginally lean Gabriel. Start Gabriel or Kirkes. No, sorry, Hall. I would lean Hall. On the next question, Gabriel or Kirkes, I'd lean Gabriel. Start Ahmad or Rodgers. I think that's so close, but just back the home fixture.
Is your bloody life still on Trent?
What's that?
Is your life still on Trent?
Yeah. He's my only other double game weeker apart from Pickford.
I'm so outraged.
You missed my super chat, did I, Ariel? 1 sec, let me find it. Got just over 1 minute until the deadline. Ariel says 2 free transfers. Flecken, Trent, Gabriel, Aina. 2 free transfers. Flecken, Trent, Gabriel, Aina, or roll. I don't even know what you're asking. You've just given me your defence. I don't know what you're asking, Ariel. It's nice. Morning, Ross. Bench Munoz, Nico Williams, or Konsa? I would bench probably just about Konsa, but that's very close, Josh. But just about Konsa. Less than a minute till the deadline. Less than a minute. Get those teams locked in. Make sure you've activated the assistant manager. Make sure you got your captain sorted, vice captain sorted. Make sure you're happy with your benching order. Start Robinson or Aina. I would start Aina just. Pedro or Cliver. I think just about Cliver, but I also think that's very close. Gabriel or Robinson. I would start Gabriel. Start Kirkes or Robinson. Just about Robinson. just about Robinson. Bench Kulusevski or Ahmad? Probably Kulusevski because Spurs are a bit stinky. Just joined. Anything different this game week? Just the assistant manager. That's the only thing. Start Mateta or Rodgers? Whoa, back the penalty taker. Start Mateta. What is going on out there? Sounds like a toy car. Anyway, that's the deadline. We are locked. Sorry, there's some chaos going on outside in Nottingham. Oh, do you hear that? Oh, my back. Oh, God. You might have even picked that up on the mic. Oof. My back is stiff. I did an hour and a half stream yesterday. I did a stream today. Lots of streaming. I'm excited to see how all of the live rank websites try and deal with the assistant manager chip. Andy's on triple Everton. He's mental. Oh, has he gone for David Moyes? Fair.
Oh, he did. Interesting.
Oh, no, he's not. Sorry. He's probably... he's bought Mikalenko, hasn't he?
Oh,
Yeah, he's got Pickford, Mikalenko, and Dai. You streaming post-deadline today, Ross? I am. I'm very hungry, though. It's the only issue. Are there any hula hoops left? That can be really crunchy to be on a stream, though, isn't there? How many packs have you had today?
1.
Oh.
I was going to make toast and stuff, but I knew it'd be loud.
Loud is one way of discussing what you were this morning.
That was the final one.
Oh, my God. Not only has Pickle made more noise than a human could possibly make for a live stream, I need to tweet my team. She's also eaten the last pack of hula hoops.
Do you want an Actimel?
That's a bit embarrassing on stream to drink an Actimel, isn't it? Like a child, like a literal child. Yeah, I do. It's not really going to fill me up much, mind you.
It'll help a little bit. Don't judge me for eating a hula hoops at 1 a.m.
You are getting judged. Judged. No, stop it.
I can't believe we have the same team again.
Actimel. Little ASMR. I think we're going to come on the stream then.
Hmm?
I thought you were going to come on the stream then.
Yeah,
You stood there like you were just going to walk on.
You really think I would right now?
Do it. Okay, well, let me make my move. So my move was Allison. Oh, I forgot I made the Mbermo move. I was just going to say Allison to Pickford. Gakpo captain, 1 million rank, on a slot assistant manager. Good luck. Hula hoops for breakfast. Yeah, I know. Assistant manager and noisy pickle chip activated. She's always noisy to prefer. Just yap, yap, yap. I did Bruno to Mbermo. 2 free transfers for game week 25.
It's kind of stressful that so many people have so many doublers, but I don't feel like Everton are going to go crazy.
Yeah, we technically only have two Liverpool, 1 Everton, but it's okay. Sorry, guys, I'm just tweeting out my team.
Sometimes single game week players outscore double game week players. Obviously, it's optimal to have as many doublers as possible, but it does depend.
Salah captain.
Oh, Harry went triple captain.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not surprised.
To be honest, I think that was the better move.
I think it's very close. It really depends just what happens. This baldy is so rude to Pickle.
Pardon?
They said I'm rude to you. Do you want to tell them that I'm actually very lovely?
Why? They think you're rude?
Because I'm just like, oh, she's yapping, she's doing this.
Oh no, he's lovely to me.
See, she said I'm lovely if you didn't hear. Okay. God, there's so many things I need to put in this tweet. Sorry, chat, 1 sec. Right, I've got my rank, I've got my chips, I've got my moves. Okay, I think I'm good. I don't like my team. I just looked at it then, I don't like it.
Rude. Excuse me.
Oh, it's your team as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you copy me. It's actually quite... when you consider how much you copy me, it's quite outrageous. Don't beat me at Bruv. All right. Happy February, by the way, chat.
I'm trying to think. I wonder who I would have gone for in the end to get Gakpo. I probably would have gone Wood, to be honest. But
You were planning on selling Mateta or Wood?
I did, but then I started to think like, oh.
You got to start thinking about John Philippe's beautiful bald head, and you don't want to sell that.
Although SA's injured, so I don't know. But the decision was killing me, so this news was quite good for me.
Do you have a six-pack? No.
Used to.
Underneath, I'm quite muscly, but there's a lot of fat on top of me at the moment.
Lots of musculars.
The musculars are there. You can't really see. You wouldn't be able to tell. You can see my shoulders. But no, I'm a little bit chubby at the moment. I say chubby.
You've lost a lot of weight though.
I can show you my torso in a second. One sec, chat. Just pin this.
You mean taking your top off?
No, I'm not gonna take my top off. I was gonna stand up so you can see my belly. Because we share everything on this channel. Are you gonna see my belly? See?
I wonder what they're saying.
A little bit. No, I didn't show my crotch. Just a little bit chubby. When I say chubby, by the way, I'm not chubby, but
You're literally not chubby at all.
two Crystal Palace players are a bit mid. Man United are more mid than my Crystal Palace players, to be honest. Thanks for the stream, Ross and Pickle. Good luck with the AS and green arrows all around. You too, my friend. I hope you are feeling okay after your ops and everything.
Oh. Wait, who?
Shazam.
Oh.
Shazam's not been the healthiest.
Oh,
Bless
thank
him.
you. Hope you get better.
Oh, my thing's got like a bubble on it. Now, am I drinking an Actimel in front of 3,000 people? Yes. Did I think I would ever be doing that? No. But
Actimels are so good.
they're good for you. And unfortunately, Pickle ate my food.
You're replenishing your microbiome. I had an Actimel as well.
So I'd like to replenish my microbiome with some hula hoops, but you ate the final pack
No, you.
at 9 a.m.
That would not be good for your microbiome.
They're so like thick. I'm really swallowing down the mic. I feel like people might enjoy that, to be fair, but you absolute wrong uns. I know what you're like. Get the El Case Immunitas.
I can't remember whether that's a prebiotic or a probiotic. I always forget the difference.
Actimel.
Does that have strains of bacteria in it? I know it sounds gross, but you know what?
Does this have bacteria in it? I don't know. I'm just drinking a nice strawberry yogurt.
See if the comments.
How much money are you making to be having Actimels? They are quite expensive. To be honest, I haven't had an Actimel in so long, but I was getting a protein yogurt 2 days ago, and I saw the Actimel was next to the protein yogurts, and I was like, Actimel slap.
They're so good.
Yeah, if anyone's watching that works at Actimel, if you want to sponsor the content, I will shout you out in every video.
I would support that.
Does it taste like microbiomes? Yes.
Yummy.
Thanks for the 2 streams, Ross. Good luck to all. You too as well. You too as well, Simon. No, why is everyone beefing Actimel? That's outrageous. Everton team leaked. Moyes has been benched. Oh dear.
Oh, I think it's a probiotic.
It's a probiotic. Okay. Currently also shotting an Actimel. What a legend. Free ASMR. Want me slurping down the mic? I normally mute myself, but you know what? Yakult clears. Disagree. Disagree.
Yeah, I don't like Yakult much, to be honest. I think it's probably a bit better for you, though.
Also, Yakult's not as cool of a name as Actimel.
Yakult, not Yakult.
Yeah, that's how I say my U's. I don't say ooh. Yakult. 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 Yakult.
See, this is the flaw of your accent.
The flaw with your accent is you sound... That was going to be really rude.
Yeah, excuse me, there's going to be Northerners and Midlanders.
If I ask the chat what they think about Birmingham accents, you will see the response.
Well, I don't know.
Sorry, I'm done slurping.
You never know.
Got like 5 doublers, suck it.
Nice.
I've got 3. Technically 4, slots a doubler.
Yeah, exactly.
Fun fact, you will never be eaten by a shark on land.
That's good.
Northerners don't claim Birmingham. Oh, people are beefing you because you called yourself a northerner.
Yeah, but our accents are similar.
You're
to
technically a
yours.
southerner.
No, I'm a... What do you mean?
I don't know, I'm just beefing you for no reason.
I mentioned Northerners because your accents are similar to ours. Our accents are closer than a Londoner is to mine.
Who are we thinking for Game Week 26 Arseman? Oh, I can't look at the fixtures, can I? Because the site's updating. I don't know yet. Oh, YouTube had just asked me to put an ad. Look.
Oh,
You can stand here. I'll show you where it says.
oh yeah.
It
Well,
pops.
look,
It
you
pops up
just
in a
slot
big.
it in.
It pops up in a big blue box saying you should insert an ad. Creators earn more money by inserting ads, and more viewers are watching. Give it a try. It's because 300 people just joined the stream.
That's cheeky.
It's like, oh, new people have just joined. Give us an ad. Do you know why YouTube are doing that? Because they'll take most of the money. That's why.
Yeah, that's true.
Pickle sounds posh for a Brummie. She is a posh Brummie.
Thanks, I guess. My dad's from Worcester, that's probably why.
We'd watch an ad for you, Ross. Nah, I'm okay. I've already had enough wonderful support from the super chats. I don't want to put in any ads. Play an ad for the lads. Put it in. How are Mr. Egg and Mrs. Pickle today? We're good, thanks. We actually had a lot of sleep, which is nice. Oh, I didn't check my sleep. I'll check my sleep. I tell you what, Whoop. Please tell me there's someone from Whoop watching. Please sponsor my content. I love Whoop, and I would talk about it all the time. Imagine it, I could have a live Whoop. I've said this before. In the top corner of my screen for the live stream, I could have a live heart rate monitor straight from the Whoop app. So you'd be able to see my heart. I should probably do that anyway. But you'd be able to see my heart rate during the stream. Yeah, this is my Whoop. I put it on my wrist, but you can put it on your arm as well.
Like an upward trend.
This was... Oh, my sleep was actually really decent. Chat, look how much REM sleep I get.
Isn't it like so bad?
42% of my sleep was REM, which is 3.5 hours of REM sleep. Look how much light sleep and awake I am. I get so much... That's actually one of the better sleeps I've ever had. Look at that that deep and REM in the boundaries. So I had 5.5 hours of restorative sleep. I almost wait. I'm under. Is that too much? Yeah. Why do I sleep that well? I do a lot during the day. To be fair, I think I probably need that much.
I'm the opposite.
Heart rate during the stream. Should I show you my heart rate now, chat?
Oh, can you literally do it right now?
I'd have to show it on the phone.
Oh,
I'm not logged in on my computer, but I could do it live from the website. It's really easy to set up on a live stream.
I reckon it's like really high at the beginning and then it calms down and like for the deadline.
Yeah. Wait, is that good? What, that amount of REM? That amount of REM is insane. No, I know it's not. I know it's not great. It's not. I'm not saying it's massively accurate. Like I'm not saying I actually am getting that exact amount. But oh, my heart rate's really high, chat. Whoa.
You are doing something to an audience, even if it's natural to you. Your heart rate.
I know, but I checked it before during live streams. It's never that high. My heart rate's at 93. My blood oxygen's always on the lower end of where it should be.
What is it?
It's 94. It's normally 93, 94.
93.
Yeah. It's 94 right now, but it's always outside the range.
It shouldn't be 93. That's not good.
Happens a lot. My skin temperature as well. I don't know why I'm giving Whoop such a great ad here. They should be paying me big bucks for this. Anyway, I've really been enjoying it. It tells you like your strain every day. So it tells me how much strain I've had. And obviously it says I can push myself today, look, because I got so much sleep. My body is capable of handling a high amount of strains. We'll go to the gym later. Anyway, I'm going to stop giving them free promotion, but it's probably the Actimel sugar coursing through the veins. Actimel's blocking your arteries. Oh no, the microbiomes, the probiotics are killing me. I don't even know what these words mean. When's your next football trip planned, Ross? I don't really have one at the moment. Oh, no, I don't actually. Bro getting nervous in front of his girl. Like giggling and kicking my feet together. I got a really itchy head. Oh, my armpit hair's out. That's a bit awkward, sorry. Sorry for that. Just exposed my hairy armpits.
Yeah, I reckon it's BSing on the oxygen.
Oh, we get in 1 minute, we get the Nottingham Forest and Brighton teams. Let's go over to tweet. Nottingham Forest. Oh, I need to zoom out a bit. It's a bit zoomed in. There you go. Okay, 1 minute till we get the lineups. So, yeah, Nottingham Forest Brighton's the early kickoff. You have lung damage in one lung, to be fair. I do have I have lung damage in one lung. One of my lungs is like a little tiny deflated balloon.
Yeah, but no. Yes, but your sats shouldn't be that low regardless, because if they were, you'd be on treatment for something.
JSY has become a Raptor X member. What a bloody legend out of nowhere. Thank you, my friend. I know you've been a member for a while, but thank you for upgrading. That's crazy. What happened to your lung? I had pneumonia 8 times between the age of birth and 2 years old. 8 times to have pneumonia. I think, Mum, was I hospitalised 5 times? I think was 3 of the times I think we dealt with it at home, and then 5 times I was hospitalised. It was bad. Chris Wood starts. That's all we care about. Ola ain't. I think everyone major starts. There's no surprises there. Right, yeah, Langer. Okay, and then Brighton. But yeah, I was a really ill baby. I was 6 and a bit weeks premature. So as a result, I had a lot of health issues.
Your premature lungs.
Brighton have forgot to tweet their lineup. How often do you drink, Ross? Once every like 3 or 4 months. Do you smoke, Ross? No.
Never.
I've literally never tried a cigarette. Crazy.
I respect that so much.
Never tried a cigarette. Come on now. Brighton, tweet your team. Here we go. Okay, João Pedro starts. I think most assets that you would expect start. Welbeck starts. Minter starts. Matoma starts. Did you see that bid from... Oh, I can't remember what side it was. Just one of the Saudi sides. They bid 90 million for Matoma.
Who did?
One of the Saudi teams.
Oh, gosh.
90 million. Yeah, no, I've never vaped, never smoked. Wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, 90 million is wild. I can see you smoking a fat Cuban on the holiday balcony. It's never too late to start smoking. Chat, what is this? Anyway, so that's the team situation. God, I'm so hungry. Stress made you lose your hair. I was born with no hair, pretty much.
Used to remember a lot of testosterone.
Yeah, I've got look how hairy my arms are. I'm bald with loads. I'm a hairy bald man. That's testosterone central. Smoked egg. Never tried it.
No.
Have a rollie to whet the appetite. Why don't you eat some hula hoops? Not now, Chris. It's an emotional time for me with no hula hoops. Can't believe that. It's not the first and it's not the last time she'll eat the last thing of her food and not even pay any attention to the fact she's doing it.
I thought there was one.
Yeah, she thought there was more. Sasquatch from the chin down. Sasquatch from like the upper lip down. I had this beard and I was like 16. The man-child needs another Actimel. How would you celebrate if you won FPL? Oh, woo! No, I would. I'd count my millions of pounds that I'd earn from winning FPL and being a YouTuber. If a YouTuber ever wins FPL, can you imagine the viewership for their videos? Dear Lord. Like, if you look at what FPL Harry's done this season, as well as obviously having very good content and being very consistent, he's finished top 5k a few times in a row, got ridiculous rank history, and people are desperate to watch his content. Imagine if you won FPL as a big YouTuber. It'd be insane.
Oh, like views for days.
Yeah. What's your favourite hula hoop flavour? Probably beef, but I do think that ready salted are quite underrated. I would say, believe it or not, salt and vinegar is my favourite, probably like overall my favourite flavour crisp. I don't really like salt and vinegar hula hoops. They're too vinegary. It's like they're really strong. Oh, my jaw is watering at the thought of food. I'm salivating.
Are we gonna make scrambled eggs on toast?
Why are you pestering me to get McDonald's? I feel like it's just in my ear constantly, just saying, "Oh, please, can we get McDonald's?" And I'm trying to be good, chat. I'm trying to say, "Can we get a good lunch?" And all I can hear is pick on my corner, KFC, McDonald's, Burger King. Oh, I want a kebab. I want a Domino's. What are you typing out now? I see you typing. What are you typing? Focal was ranked #1 for a week. Yeah, and again, that was when his channel blew up. Obviously, Focal's videos are a joke, but still. Hi from London, Ross. I live in the US, but visiting family. Much easier to make last-minute changes in this time zone. Question, can you please change time? What, to stream so that it is easier for your time zone? I wish I could. But yeah, it must be really horrible living in a different time zone. But I'm glad it's easier for you, Rich. I hope you're enjoying London as well. Whereabouts in London are you, Rich? Let me know.
Oh, the thing glitched. I thought the Teams had updated and I was like, changed it.
What were you typing that quickly, by the way? I thought you were going to message in the chat and you didn't.
I did. Oh, was my internet cut out or something?
Yeah, there's no message come up from
I
you.
just said this is what happens every stream, by the way.
Oh.
That's what I wrote down. Because you guessed like...
Hi, Pookie. Hi, Pookie. I know someone said hi, Pookie. I'm off. Have a good weekend. All good luck. Good luck, JSY. Did you know that Bruno is part Indian? Is he? Didn't know that, if that's true. Ross, what did Pickle choose? Sorry, I just woke up. What transfer? Why? She just copied me.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna...
She brought in Pickford and activated the chip on slot. And she brought in Momo for Bruno.
No. Tell the whole story.
She brought in Pickford way earlier than me. And then we brought in Mbeumo and Bruno at the same time.
And I also didn't sell Alisson. I never had 3 Liverpool players to begin with.
Head loss. I'm telling you, Jared. Like, she just loses her head. What's that?
No, because everyone's like, oh, you know, predictable.
I am a massive wind up. We wind each other up a lot. I'm just a massive wind up. If you can't already tell, I love winding people up, but only when it's fun. I don't like winding people up as a.
To be fair,
I've just seen Max has got a good question. What are your favourite crisps, Ross? Chat, hit me up.
Ooh.
What are your favourite? I'm going to sit here for a second and really think about this. If you could only eat one pack of crisps for the rest of your life, you need to give me a brand and a flavour. Favourite crisp. I'm going to talk out loud for a little bit. I am a big fan of smoky bacon. So I think Frazzles, Wheat Crunchies, both slap. Would they be my only crisp I could ever have again? Maybe not. Are you all right there, love?
Sorry,
She's just filing her nails now.
I honestly would probably go really salted.
Pickle would go ready salted hula hoops.
Or what's it?
Pickled onion monster munch. Well, they slap, but they stink so bad. I love flaming hot monster munch.
Yeah, they're okay.
I might go Whatsits.
Yeah,
Whatsits slaps so hard. I feel like if I could only ever have one crisp ever again, I'd probably go something boring like salt and vinegar Walkers, just because like it's just steady Eddie, you know. Chicken twisties from Australia. This is the thing. I'm not going to know some of the brands that aren't UK based. Kettle chips ready salted. Fair. Giant Whatsits. Callum.
Yeah, Giant Whatsits.
Giant Whatsits are so much better than the small Whatsits.
I think Whatsits, you know.
Okay, right. That's that one question. Next question from Nino. What's a top tier cereal, Ross? Give me your top three cereals. I've got a cereal right next to me, actually. This isn't mine. This is Pickles. Look at the size of this pack of rice. You're getting outed here.
You know what? I haven't even had many of those.
Yeah, I know, it's quite heavy. Look at it next to my head.
Has anyone ever had the honey and nut Kellogg clusters? I've not had those in Yonks, but those are good.
I think Cookie Crisp is good.
Nah. That's a no from me. Oh, Cocoa Pops, Moons and Stars.
Yeah, they slapped. Yeah, they slapped.
Because they were my favourite.
What about chocolate shreddies? Slap.
Yeah, you just like chocolate.
I love chocolate. Yeah, I'm a chocolate boy.
I like Special K a lot.
Weetabix are.
Weetabix is my favourite.
Mini choc chip Weetabix. These ones.
No, just plain Weetabix.
Oh, my legs are rusty. Oh,
legs. Oh, Ross nearly fell over that just now. Maybe you sat so low. Where are you panting?
Chat, my legs nearly gave away. I tried running to get my these. I would probably say these are my favourite. It's a bit dead, but
Nah.
Oh. I don't feel well, I'll tell you that.
What's everyone saying?
Oh, sorry.
I can't load the chat.
Golden Nuggets. Whoa, that is a throwback.
I've never tried those.
Fruit Loops, Nesquik, Crunchy Nut, Golden Nuggets, Frosties.
Frosty's are good. Oh, where's Frosty?
Where is Frosty? Frosties, Cheerios, Shreddies with honey, chocolate pillows. Prefer an old school fry up. So would I, to be fair. Ross loves chocolate awkward. Why?
He's there being silly.
Oh. Chocolate frosted wheats. All brand, no milk. What?
No milk.
Sugar puffs.
Oh my god, those are oh no, aren't they honey puffs? I don't know.
I know what ones you mean, yeah. Oh god, I'm so hungry. Why do we do this?
Oh, I really want those honey and nut clusters right now. Do you know which one's on me?
I think I do. I think we had this chat before, and then you tried to show me that, and then we couldn't find them.
The peanut honey and nut ones.
Cereal in the morning or an evening snack? 100% evening snack. I don't like cereal in the morning. I don't ever have cereal in the morning. The only time I would have cereal is an evening snack.
Cereal is an evening snack.
I don't like food in the morning. I get hungry about 2 to 3 hours after I wake up. Like I woke up at 8, so I started getting hungry about 10, maybe half 10 was when I started getting really hungry. I don't want to eat as soon as I've just woken up. You know, just don't feel it.
Oh, Cocoa Pops, moons and stars.
Do you like porridge, Ross? I do, but not by itself, which probably means I don't love porridge. But I would like lots of fruit, some honey, some like chia seeds, you know, like stuff chucked in there. Sally's ex-boyfriend has become a member has been a member for 27 months. Thank you. I swear that used to be Sally's boyfriend, not Sally's ex-boyfriend. Who's messaged me now? Stormzy said, "Oi, tell Pickle that is the goat cereal." Wait, which one, Stormzy?
Which one? I need to know.
Honey Nut Clusters.
Yes. Oh, they're so good. I'm actually going to go to Tesco right now and get some.
Storm said, "Oi, tell Pickle that is the goat cereal, Honey Nut Clusters."
Oh.
There you go, verified. Where can you get them from though? Number one of all time.
Oh, so good. I haven't had them in
I don't know why you eating the same cereal as Stormzy makes me laugh. I don't know why that makes me laugh, but it just does. I'm just imagining you two just eating. I'll tell you what, next time I do a video with Stormzy, and by the way, Stormzy, it means you're watching. When are we doing a video? I'll bring you with me, and I'll bring a couple of bowls, and I'll bring some honey nut clusters, and we can all sit there and eat some cereal.
I want some so bad. You know what? I'm going to the shop later.
Ross, love your content, but I'm a proper skint student. What's the best way I can support you? Oh, mate, just being here. Honestly, I get paid by you just watching the videos for free. You don't have to ever send a super chat or anything. Just carry on watching me. That's all you need to do to support me, honestly. That is all I ever want. I never request or ask for anything beyond you just watching the content. But thank you. That's very sweet. Ross, what's your favourite video game? Oh, my favourite video game. I'd be dead and say FIFA, but I would say Call of Duty Zombies, Black Ops 2. Would be like my old school. Mob of the Dead, if anyone played Mob of the Dead, that Zombies was unbelievable. But old school Call of Duty. Modern Call of Duty's fine, it's just like... Stormzy dropping the cereal Riz on Pickle. The cereal Riz. Imagine.
Oh, I really want some now, though. That's what I'm thinking about.
I want chicken selects. That's what I want.
Oh my gosh.
But it's because you kept mentioning McDonald's, so.
I said scrambled eggs and fries.
What do you think of Black Ops 3? I've got it. It's okay. To be fair, I don't really play game. I don't game anymore. I'm too busy, guys. So busy. Mario Kart and the N64. Fair. Rocket League. I like Rocket League, but more for the vibes of who you're playing with. Like the actual game itself, I don't love as much as something like McDonald's. I just read the word McDonald's. I meant to say Call of Duty. God, I've got McDonald's on the mind. I'm so hungry. Serial killer. Not that sort of cereal. My head's gone. World of Warcraft. Oh my God. When I say I've never nerded out a game like World of Warcraft, in one summer, I got 2 stars independent of each other because of how much I looked at a screen. I can't remember how old I would have been. I would have been 12, 13, I just sat there and played World of Warcraft all summer. My eye was swollen twice because of it. What's the McDonald's meal of choice? I'm a manager there. I don't suppose you manage the one in Nottingham and want to give me free McDonald's. I would go either for a McCrispy and a double cheeseburger and some selects and some nuggets and some large fries and a McFlurry. Or I like anything like... Do you know what? If you're a manager at McDonald's, are you bringing back the chili cheese bites? Because they're the best thing about McDonald's, and they've just not come out in like 8 or 9 months. So can you tell me as a manager, are the chili cheese bites ever coming back, Liam? But anyway, I would go for chicken selects and...
Probably get fired for leaving that.
Can you please stop pestering me about McDonald's? All you keep talking about, everyone can hear you, just constantly talking about McDonald's.
You do this every time. I don't know whether to or not.
Stormzy said, next season I'll be back for a vid when I secure the top 10k finish in 2026. Okay. Yeah, I respect it. No one wants to come on and talk about FPL when they're not at a rank they're happy with. You can get them from Greg's.
Oh, I've heard about that, but I've never tried them.
What, chili cheese bites? You can get them from, the ones from Burger King. The Burger King. I once ordered, I think I had to order a certain amount because it was Uber Eats and you can't, there's a certain like minimum fee. I think I ordered like 24 chili cheese bites from Burger King. Oh, right, I tell you what, chap. I'm sorry. I need food. As much as I love you all, I think this is the time when we say goodbye. It's been emotional. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have too. Thank you for anyone that tuned into yesterday's stream and today's stream. You're the real legends. That's 4 hours of me you've watched if you watched the entire thing of both. So, yeah, I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. There will be a transfer plans video tomorrow. And then we have a couple of weeks off. There's actually no FPL therapy next week either. I'm going to spend a bit of time on my PhD, which sadly I have to do. But yeah, I'll catch you all on Sunday, tomorrow, for a transfer plans video. And until then, for the next deadline stream in a couple of weeks, I love you all very much. See you soon. Bye-bye.